She's a primitive Jill.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Hello and welcome. Today we're covering the very first animated related movie on this channel, thanks to a recommendation and a request from Old Man Bird, who is here in the chat already. Hello, and I'm so glad I get to thank you live while you are here because you have made a generous donation to the channel, a super duper mega chat, $120 donation to show just how much you enjoy the channel and what I do here. So thanks for having fun learning about TV and film or teaching me stuff about it. And it's just wonderful to have you here. And I've been wanting to watch this movie for years, and I don't know why I put it off. And so finally, you given me that little push. Very very easy to say yes. And so yesterday I saw Alita Battle Angel for the first time and I liked it. And not only that, I also learned there were only 2 episodes of the anime. So I picked that up too and I enjoyed that as well. It's only an hour long total. It Both of them, I think in their own ways, they're gorgeous, incredibly well crafted cyberpunk dystopia and origin story. And we got a heroine who is discovering herself because she's forgotten all of the things, and she immediately has to deal with tragedy and fighting evil on top of all of that. And I watched them both, and I think the movie adds to it. Fortunately, there are some differences that we'll highlight and some things I learned a bit about the manga, even though I obviously didn't read that. But after seeing this, maybe I would. There are only 11 issues, I think. And my main complaint is that this movie actually, this is my main complaint with all Cameron productions. Although I know this is directed by Robert Rodriguez, but Cameron wrote the thing, and it's my main complaint with all the things he does is he's always writing something for a sequel. And so it does feel like it's just the beginning of a movie. But also at the same time, all my favorite stories leave me wanting more, so we're ready to get started talking about it. And joining me today to talk about it is Scotty R37. Hey, how's
what's up?
your Friday going?
It is, you know what? I'm having one of the best Fridays I've had in a long time, and this is a part of it, and so thank you.
Yay, I'm glad I could be a part of your fantastic Friday. Phobos, I'm thrilled you decided to join us for as long as you can, and how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So there are 9 volumes of the manga and they're not short. And I was actually living in Japan when this manga came out and do you know how manga sort of works or used to work in Japanese culture? They would be all over the trains, the commuter trains that people would take to work, and people would generally leave their manga on the train. I don't know if they were embarrassed to be reading them or if it was just sort of um kind of the library method that was traditional. But you would get on a train and you would see a bunch of books just laying on the seat. You could pick one up and start reading it, and that's how I discovered this. And it's a really good manga, and I was immediately captivated by the world building. So I have very fond memories of this, and they've been threatening to make this into a movie for a very long time. And I think the technology finally got to the point where they could do it. So,
Yeah.
I always thought this movie was much better than its box office performance. I thought it was pretty underrated. Rosa Salazar was amazing. It took me a while to get past the sort of the bug eyes of but after about 15 minutes I kind of got settled in, and it felt normal, and I just absolutely adored this movie.
Yes, I think it's because of the anime style. They say, "Oh, she's got big eyes in the anime. Let's make her have big eyes here." And well, and I agree with you about the world building being compelling. And I find that they packed a lot into just 2 hours. And this movie is always moving, and I'd be interested to see just how more in-depth each of these characters are written in the manga because obviously you're saying it's a long read, so clearly they have more time.
Well, remember, I
Let's space
read
things out.
Japanese at the rate of about a third grader, so I'm constantly going over my shoulder, like, what does this word mean? What does this word mean?
It's better than me. I can say please and thank you and you're welcome and
Irashimasai.
cute, kawaii. That's
Yeah,
all I know. I
but
barely know anything.
but you have to scream it. You have to go kawaii ni. You can't just say. You have to always say it with enthusiasm. And since I learned
Oh, wow.
Japanese from essentially drunk businessmen, that's what I sound like when I talk.
Perfect. Well, wow. Wow, that was great insight on the manga and Japanese culture. So this movie was released on January 31st in London, but February 14th in the United States.
Happy Valentine's.
Yeah, happy Valentine's. And so it is obviously a cyberpunk action film based on Yukito Kishiro's manga series and directed by Robert Rodriguez, produced by James Cameron, written by him basically, and John Landau, also written by Leida Kalagridis. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But it makes great use of motion capture and CGI, and maybe it was a good thing that it was preempted by Avatar because that allowed the technology to just get even better by the time we got to it, as Istafobos was saying.
Oh, it's tough. It's a tough one to call because, as Istafobos said, it's like they were threatening to make this movie for a long time. And for a long time, this was on James Cameron's slate. This was going to be the movie after Titanic and then after Avatar until we decided that everything was going to be Avatar in the world of James Cameron.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as to what uh, Jimmy C's Alita Battle Angel would have been, but I am so impressed with Robbie Rodrigue
I think Robert
as,
Rodriguez does best when he's collaborating with someone, and what
oh
better
yeah, good
person to
call.
collaborate with?
Yeah,
Sure.
I
and I have to say this film is absolutely gorgeous from start to
Hmm.
finish, even in the sort of more seedy areas, you know, of the forgot what they call, what do they call it when they're on the ground and they're not up in the
Factory City
when they're in Factory City, just it is absolutely gorgeous.
Is
And
it
yeah,
Iron City?
could be Iron City.
So you were
yeah,
right about the budget in the box office. They barely broke even though it deserved so much more, and that
Well,
is disappointing.
do you guys remember? Because this came out in the same month, I think, as Captain Marvel, the Brie Larson Captain Marvel. And people got mad at it right away, like Captain Marvel. And they said, if you're not looking for just a self important girl boss, you should check out Alita Battle Angel because it is a much better story and much better made film than Captain Marvel. But at the time, Captain Marvel was, it was the last Marvel movie released before Endgame. And so it had that momentum, and that's part of the reason why Captain Marvel made a billion and some and change. But having seen this movie, and this is not like I like Captain Marvel, I like Brie Larson, I know, but this is such a better movie. This is so much better than I would say 80% of Marvel movies. I think I can only think of about four that are better than this. This is such a treat, such a great adaptation. And I think everyone does an incredible job. Unfortunately, though, Jill, your first Star Trek shout out of the day is going to be Rosa Salazar. Was the captain of the ship that fired H. John Benjamin from the Tribble episode.
Yeah, that's
of
okay
Short
because
Treks.
that's not Star Trek. That's filth. That's
Yeah.
that's Star
Yeah.
Trek Discovery. That's not.
No, I'm just glad. I'm
Correct.
just glad I got to bring up Brie Larson and New
Oh.
Trek in the same sentence.
And
You
Salazar, did you see a very odd animated TV series called Undone? She's no stranger to motion capture. It was it was a very good sort of, I guess, limited series where she plays a girl who's getting unstuck in time, and it's done in the it was filmed like a regular show, but then everything was rotoscoped over it, so it's done in an animation
What's it called?
style. I think it's called Undone.
Undone.
And yeah, it's very it was very good, and I've always sort of I've liked this actress. She's always impressed me in anything she's done. So
and she's cute as a button.
Yeah, she's no stranger to fantasy. She kind of understands what it's like to do motion capture, and the creative choice to sort of make her and only her look specifically anime in the live action movie. It was interesting. I think they wanted to distinguish her, you know, from the rest of the humans in the movie. It was definitely, and it's a choice that many people sort of attribute the lack of success of the movie itself in as well.
Oh,
They do. They do. A lot of people were put off by the large eyes and not realizing what the movie was about.
Yeah, the marketing campaign was not very good for this. It took me a while. It's very unnerving to see her initially, but I settled in pretty quick and got used to her.
Yeah, I got used to it once I was actually watching the movie and gave up, you know, the my opinions of it. And I have to think, I got to thank Zell 4701 for the £9.99 super chat. Just popping in to say hi. Alita, I have a big soft spot for the 2-part anime. Was my first experience of Japanese anime as a kid, and the manga I binged. This film made me feel like that kid again. That's great.
Yeah. Well, and I had heard about this movie. I'd never seen it. And I watched it yesterday for the first time. And I was expecting an Avatar. Like, I was expecting digital backgrounds, digital characters. I was expecting basically an animated film. And I was absolutely taken aback by the fact that there was so much done on practical sets and lots and whatnot, especially considering Robert Rodriguez had made Sin City, which was primarily digitally created. And it was tangible, which was great. I think that this is such a successful interpretation or adaptation of the original anime, and I'm with you in terms of this being one of the first anime that I saw. Like, I saw Akira, I saw this, and Ghost in the Shell. Like, this was all OVA, the first floodgates being opened in the early 90s. And I was like, this is the adult animation that I wish for. Not adult in terms of, hentai, but in terms of swears and blood and the occasional flash of an areola. And I think that this is when I realized that animation could be for grown-ups. And I really appreciated it.
It is. The anime is definitely more grown up, although a lot of people probably saw it as kids, as Zell says here. But yeah, and the movie does have less blood and no nudity But
Right.
here's a
Which is a
video.
crime because of Jennifer Connelly, but
Well,
whatever.
there's something in this movie that upsets me, and this made me feel better. I think it was included in the DVD special. I don't know exactly where it was included, but it's official. Thank you again to Zell. We got that video
Perfect.
early, thanks to him. And check out him later on he'll be on with UK Danger Man, and they're going to be talking about the Orville. Love the Orville so much. Everyone should be talking about the Orville. But speaking of everyone, I got to say hi to everybody in the chat. Mad G is here. Hello to Mad G, Brogu, Old Man Bird, who sponsors this particular stream. College Slammer, 1 hour and a minute left. Oh, he was talking about how long it would take me to get here. Sorry, I had personal things that made me late. Kimberly, hello. Thank you for being here also. And let's see who else is here. Time to talk about another hard-hitting documentary. Says Entropy Manor. The manga would keep you busy a bit longer. Yes, I knew I didn't have the time to read that. Greek Letters Larson says astonishing effects. Tedious storyline. And the review of Alita. Show's over, folks. Tune in next week for another shitty movie. Well, and I do appreciate more complicated dialogue, and that's where the anime comes in, but it was nice. I enjoyed the movie, and we'll talk about it in just a bit. It's absolutely great, says Brogu. I originally loved this anime back in the day when it was just anime. I still have a VHS of it.
Nice.
And Sigvaldison really enjoyed the movie. Didn't realize it came from an anime, so I'm a noob regarding that. Well, me too. I'm brand new.
Yeah, I'm not a waifu.
Yeah, he found the storyline tedious. I felt quite the opposite. I was pretty much sucked in for the entire film. Even though I had
Greek Letters is hard to please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even though I read the anime and was familiar with the story, the way in which I wasn't sure who could be trusted was pretty cool. Like there are a lot of people whose motives aren't clear, and the way they were filmed and the way the movie was made, you weren't quite sure of everybody's allegiances. And I found the movie very compelling, quite the opposite of tedious. Rings of Power is tedious. The Filth is tedious, but this movie to me was the opposite of that.
Well, I do think that it does stray into sports movie. It kind of goes a little rollerball, and if you're not a fan of sort of futuristic sci-fi sports, then this can be like, oh, really? Because once you get into an arena, you can lose interest. But like the greatest compliment that I could give this in terms of adaptations of other Japanese animation is I was like, this is the best movie I've seen since in this genre, in this sphere since Speed Racer.
Yeah, and
I'm okay with the fictional sports.
I have memories of looking out my window, seeing a bunch of kids playing motorball in the alley with their imaginations, and so I'll also use fan of rollerball. But yeah, they used to pretend they were an Alita and play their own little version of motorball with their bicycles and such.
Oh, that's rad. Oh, that's so cool.
It is pretty cool. Wow. So we're ready to talk about the movie. Let's bring up the slides. And so it takes place 300 years after a war. Oh, did we want to do something else?
Well, there is apparently earth-shattering news.
Oh, I almost forgot about that. Please.
Istophobos, would you like to share the earth-shattering news? There is supposed to be a kaboom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Hold on. Let me play a video.
Yeah, play a video.
Okay.
There we are.
I don't want to completely derail the stream, but much to Paramount and the Ellison chagrins, it looks like Netflix, in reversing all of their historically held positions, has come to a deal with Warner Brothers for purchase and are now entering a phase of exclusive negotiations with a $5 billion penalty to Warner Brothers if the deal doesn't fall, if the deal falls through. So this
Well,
is
what is
very
the initial deal that's being suggested?
I think it's
87 billion?
yeah, but the thing is it was only like 25 cents per share more than Paramount's third offer, but all of a sudden, they locked into an exclusive negotiation, eliminating any other bids or attempts to take over. It's sort of like you're in an auction and you're doing all the bidding, and then somebody comes in right on top and offers $1 more, and they get the item. And the Ellisons are quite displeased at the moment, and I think they're threatening to take it directly to the shareholders and have them vote against this. The idea is that this merger will be a lot harder to pass regulatory scrutiny, and it's going to cost the shareholders more money and more time than it would if they accepted the Paramount offer. And also, they didn't give Paramount a chance to come in and outbid Netflix.
And so I think that one of the things that people are concerned about, and rightly so, is Netflix being a streaming platform. There is the question, there is the fear that this will take away the theatrical experience for Warner Brothers films. I think that fear is unfounded. To be qualifiable for Academy Awards, there has to be a cinematic distribution, and Netflix wants to make money. And one of the ways that you do that is by subscribing to the late night infomercial that is the Academy Awards. And so there will still be cinematic releases. I don't think that Warner Brothers will take a step back from that. It is one of the founding studios of Hollywood. And I believe completely in Warner Brothers. I do not believe that this signifies the end of that distribution. I don't think that Netflix buying Warner Brothers is a sign of the end times for the theater. And also, I think
I
that
kind of think it's not good.
No, they will
why?
definitely they'll keep up the theatrical distribution, but the window will definitely be shorter. And it's weird because Netflix has expressed time and time again their lack of interest in getting involved in the theatrical side, and now all of a sudden, and they also expressed interest in, well, we don't want to own IP. It's better and easier for us to naturally and organically develop our own. This is a huge reversal on all their opinions. And Netflix is talking about the 15-day streaming window versus 45 to 90 days that, Hollywood would like minimum. And this will definitely hurt theaters. I don't care how you slice it. Yeah, they'll release a few movies in theatrical, the ones they think could possibly win awards, but they're going to move those to streaming as soon as possible. They're not interested in making money theatrically, and that's the big difference here.
But what is the difference between Disney acquiring Fox and Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers?
A lot of it has to do with the broadcasting portions, which, they will probably spin off or sell off. But the Fox merger should never have gone through either. And that was, I think, a really poor decision by the FCC.
But we've lived through this before. I suppose that's where I'm like, all right. And I still got to, for better or worse, I still got to go see Predator Badlands. I still got to go see Alien Romulus.
Look at the damage it has done, though. Like Fox movies are not doing as well as they've historically done. They've all been Disneyfied. They're pretty much
Well, but
sort of,
in box office, Predator Badlands was a success.
it's still going to lose money at the theater. It wasn't
Yeah,
nearly
but it doesn't.
as they're painting it out to be.
I don't think that matters because there is still post-release of box office that there is revenue that unfortunately no layman is going to have
Oh,
access to in terms of subscriptions to streaming services.
and you know Netflix is going to kill the physical media side of business, and a lot of people
I don't
still
buy
want
it.
to own movies. I don't know. I
Guillermo
think
del
this is,
Toro he demanded a release of the new Frankenstein, and so
yeah,
that's
but
going to be a physical release. And I
I wish he
think
would
that
have demanded
strong
theaters.
creators are going to push for those physical releases. Heck, the
yeah, it's
only
going to be a
reason
much
Kevin
smaller
Smith
scale.
has a career is because they were like when Lionsgate distributed Clerks 3. Wait, no, it was even before that. It was Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And Lionsgate was like, we sold more of these discs than anything ever. So if you want to make another movie, as long as we can release the physical, and then you sell it to the distribution, and then Warner Brothers gets to like I guarantee we're going to get Acme versus Coyote or Coyote versus Acme. Pardon me. Strike that. Reverse it. We're going to get that in theaters. We're going to get that on physical. Heck, Netflix may dump Batgirl on streaming alone. And if demand is warranted.
Yeah, you're looking at the tiny little dribbles that come out of the end. There, I'm talking about the main
That was a good
impetus
joke.
of the big machine. They're not going to be motivated. So a few creators will demand physical releases. That is until Netflix, Warner Brothers has all the power to go tell them to go, take a flying leap.
And I
Because
guess this is, and sorry to interrupt, but I guess this is the world that I am looking at is that there is no way that anything that has Batman in the title will not get a physical release. Every Batman, every Superman, James Gunn doing the DCU,
yeah, but
that's
what
going to get
about the
physical.
95% of the other movies? Like I said, you're looking
Oh,
at a tiny
Sharknado
little.
7?
Well, all of them, like, hundreds of movies a year, you're not looking at the big picture. You're only looking at the small things that seem to be what you're interested in. You're not looking at the industry as a whole. Netflix will never do anything that directly competes with their own core business. I mean, Hollywood is well against this.
Oh,
Not that I trust
Histophobos.
their judgment.
Histophobos. What if Netflix gets back into sending out discs via the mail?
Oh, wow. That'll be a callback. Hey, I want to read the super chat from Sigvaldison for $5.
Yes.
I'm reading it verbatim.
Hey, Siggy.
Yeah, Siggy. Pop culture is dead. At least Japan gives Western audiences their pop culture via anime, manga. Tonight, the Harvey Cthulhu variety show. So, yes, that's true. Yes, on the Doomcock channel, Harvey has been generous enough to allow Doomcock on his show. Thank you, Sigvaldison, for that super chat.
There also has been some speculation about, Netflix real motives in this, and that one of them is that they are terrified of the competition that a Paramount Plus HBO merger would be to them. And this makes sense. Like that Facebook bought Instagram not because they wanted it, but they saw it as a serious competitor going forward. There's also a political angle where some people like Zaslav, despite his reputation as a conservative in Hollywood, he actually has only donated money to Democrats.
Yeah,
And the
I don't really
idea
give a
is that
goddamn.
this is a delaying tactic to keep CNN out of the hands of the Ellisons. And all of these reasons together, like, it's interesting. Maybe they don't really believe the deal will go through, but they just want to keep it out of the hands of Paramount for a couple of years. It's an expensive tactic, but I don't think $5 billion is that much to Netflix.
All
They're
You
right.
a
really
$1
think
billion
they're gonna?
company at this point.
I'm not sure if I would go so far to think that they're gonna buy it just to kill it.
No. I don't think they think they're going to buy it. It's all a delaying tactic to keep it out of the hands of Paramount for another couple of years while this regulatory situation gets resolved. It would be an expensive move, but if you really thought you're a serious competition on the horizon and for a few billion, which is small compared to the overall value of your company, you could delay the competition from putting their foot in for a couple of years. Strategically, it might not be a bad move.
It'd be
When I was a
interesting to see
young
what
boy,
happens next.
my father took me to the theater to see a marching band. And
Okay, those are lyrics.
he told me that this is the place that you can get away from sports and politics, and it was escape. That's what the movies are for. That's what theater is for, cinema. And so when people start talking about, you know, the political or economic ramifications of me being able to see Will Forte with an animated coyote in a courtroom,
Need to see that
I'm
movie.
like,
That has
you know
to
what?
happen.
I don't. You guys, you know what? Count your beans. Talk to your lawyers. I don't really care about Excel spreadsheets. I want to see the fun stuff. And so I don't think that I'm ignorant to what the ramifications are to the entertainment industry, but also I have no control. I have no rudder on this ocean.
Absolutely. Yeah, none.
And
None of us.
so I hope for the best. I do not think that their intentions are malicious, whether it be Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers, or anybody. Like,
Well, their intentions are always going to be, to further their own
money.
business interest. Yeah, yeah. And if they decide the delaying tactic is of value to them and it's worth it, they're going to spend that money. But it would be like, I would prefer to see them be sold to nobody because we already have a huge consolidation problem in Hollywood.
Yes,
you're
I
talking
agree.
about-
I agree.
You're talking
Completely
about
with that.
seeing the product in the theater, and I'm more concerned about the quality of the product that we're getting. And then
Well,
Netflix is not really. I
well-
don't think they're going to be conducive to getting a quality product.
So if I were to ask
that's
you,
true too.
if I were to ask you, what has Netflix effed up? And here's my proviso: you can't say cuties. What has Netflix effed up in
The
terms of
second
entertainment?
season of every single series.
Yeah, they cancel it like
they-
it's toilet paper. Sure.
Yeah. The other thing is that, and this isn't
No, but
speculation.
but what? What specifically stands out as being a negative that Netflix has brought upon to the world?
They explicitly make movies with the intention that people aren't going to be paying attention, and therefore it's all very sort of second screen exposition heavy, not too complicated, very simple. So the idea is you're watching Netflix while you're doing something else, and the quality of all of their stuff is just absolute crap. Like compare that
Well, it's better than Hallmark.
to the slate of movies that Warner Brothers put out this year. Like, not all of it was my speed, but they've been a lot better. They've certainly had less sort of ideological pandering, and they're smarter. They actually have movies with subtext that require you to pay attention. Smarter movies, and I don't see it getting much of that, if any, from Netflix.
I think
The
Wes
Ana
Keiko was
de
mentioning a
Armas-
bad Netflix movie where they had sequels for the Killer Tomatoes that were really bad.
Yeah,
So,
but Disney's done that too with like Disney has plowed every Star Wars and Marvel
Disney's
thing like a tent peg.
I'm not defending,
But
well, that's the thing, is that Netflix is going to Disneyfy everything. Look at The Witcher. Oh my God! Look at look at the Rebel Moons.
And I don't want to put this to bed because obviously I don't have the last word in any of this. But we do
need to
review something. But we're living in an era where the all of the franchises, all of the IPs, and all of the potential for original ideas, they are all owned by streaming services. Disney has everything. Amazon has James Bond. And now Netflix has Casablanca
Yeah,
and
and Harry Potter, and I would have
Harry
preferred
Potter.
to keep it out of their hands. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
but
I don't want anybody to
Oh
own it.
no.
I want the money behind it so that we can have the possibility of both. And streaming unto itself has really harmed entertainment and Hollywood and art, because when it was a physical media distribution, there was, for lack of a better term, a back end where fans could voice what they wanted with their wallets by buying those things. And now it becomes amorphous, and it becomes, oh, they're subscribing to Netflix because they want to see The Irishman. Oh, they're subscribing to Disney Plus because they want to
Yeah.
see Avatar.
Well, the bottom
Oh.
line is Netflix is not interested in art or even success. They just need content.
That's
And
arguable. That is arguable. But it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it, and they were the first.
Oh, it's not. That is what
no,
streaming
no, it-
services are all
and
about.
they-
Is collecting more and more content.
They
good or
already-
bad.
remember, House of Cards. The only reason House of Cards existed was because of the algorithm. They were like, we want to make a show. What do people like on our platform? And they said, we like Kevin Spacey movies and we like David Fincher. And so they made House of Cards. That
and
was
for
the first algorithmic television show.
Yeah.
And then it raped a boy.
Yeah, I'm completely against making stuff that way. And if you look at the progression of what House of Cards turned into, that's pretty much all that you have to see as
Yeah.
far as proof that this is not going to
but-
benefit entertainment. But I
But
say
that was
let's-
Kevin
let's-
Spacey's fault.
Well, no, the show, I don't know. The show was got really crappy even before then. But
Yeah, the first season is the only thing worth watching. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
I
yeah,
like
and
2 seasons.
because but Netflix has single-handedly sort of destroyed the television industry, the pilot industry, a complete ecosystem. But we should
Yeah.
really get into the movie because I don't know.
But
we
everybody-
we should. I know, right?
Final thought.
Well,
Thought on this.
but also we have to say
Everyone. Final thought before we say hello to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Swift
Mad G.
is that
I just wanna say
everybody
G.
went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs as soon as we got internet movies on demand. We jumped for joy. We had a parade. We didn't believe it was going to be this easy. And then video stores closed. And then here we are. And here we are. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
not sure there's a point to that, but I want to get into the movie.
There is a point.
Well, and people in the chat had stuff to say too. Sigvaldison says, unless Netflix is buying Warner Brothers for their catalog of movies and shutting down the movie production side, which is a possibility, or will it use its assets to make Netflix movies and TV shows? Yeah, we don't really know what their intentions are yet because
we know that they're going to say what they need to say to get it through, and then they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do afterwards.
Culture war is over. Calm down. Get your panties.
it is not quite, but it's going in a good direction, but it's not quite
Yes.
over.
Why is everyone obsessed with the Batgirl movie? I mean,
I
I'm
don't
almost
know. No,
certain
but
it's
Brogu
Because of
crap.
Brendan
wants to
Fraser.
see it.
Because of Brendan Fraser.
You know what? If Brogu wants to see it, then fine. Let's.
I
release
wanna
for
see it.
Brogu.
I want to see a lady dressed up like Batgirl. Is that wrong?
Yeah, I'm
You
pretty
can-
sure 15 minutes in, you're going to say, now I see why they didn't release this in movie.
I feel
15? Probably
I
7.
feel like I feel like this movie will be best on mute. That's my prediction.
I've already,
says,
I've already seen
go
a
ahead.
picture of her in the costume, and I wasn't really impressed.
I
Aw.
liked it. I liked the costume.
all right.
But
so
I
I'm
like
just
seeing hot chicks do
checking
cool
and see
things.
what-
So
Oh yeah, no. Hopefully, I don't think the will go
Hey!
anywhere. I think they'll just adapt to something.
John and Porthos are
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
John the Beagle Dad.
Speaking of hot chicks doing cool things, Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
Yes, and we are going to talk about Alita Battle Angel and just catching up with all of the amazing things going on here. Everyone hated Velma. Yep. That's
I
over, right?
love
Yeah.
Velma. No, I don't
No.
love Velma. I love Velma the character. I don't like the show. I've never saw it because I'm not going to watch
No.
a show about Scooby Doo without Scooby Doo.
There was no Scooby. Anyway,
No Scooby Doo.
but there is a dog in this movie. That is very, very
There
good dog.
is, and spoilers. Bad things happen.
Bad things happen, is all you can say. So this movie takes place 300 years after a war between the Sky Cities and Mars. And there's not a whole lot told about the war itself, which is why I sound so unsure of myself. But Alita has a very strong connection to it, but she doesn't know it yet, and it takes her the whole movie to figure these things out.
Well, and
And
that's I really enjoy getting into it as a cannonball. Like you just jump in the pool. This is the world, and you're introduced via Dr. Ito.
yes, we see the Sky City dump garbage down onto the city. The city itself is the garbage dump, and for the Sky City, and the Ito, like you said, the cybernetic surgeon is scavenging for working parts. for the
Slides aren't
clinic.
up, lady.
And oh, that's not good. Let's make them big.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz. Everyone's favorite.
And you notice they're showing this rather than hitting us with a wall of text explaining the
Good
relationship
point.
between the cities. And they're
Totally.
jumping no, they're showing us. They're establishing the relationship between these two geographies visually, which is something you don't see a lot anymore.
Yeah, right.
And
And
I-
I didn't show
yeah.
this. That's true.
I-
I was the one being narrating, but the movie didn't do that.
I like it.
Yeah, I love movies that require you to think and pay attention. Otherwise, for me, what's the point? And
Mhm.
It does.
Well,
But and eventually it does tell you all of those things in its way. And that's
Yeah.
why I know it is because I saw the whole movie, but you have to piece it together yourself.
yeah, a lot of brilliant subtext going on with these short establishing scenes are telling you everything you need to know. I always compare it to the opening of the original Star Wars. They don't really explain anything, but you see the plucky little rebels in their tiny ship, and all of a sudden, dominating from above in this enormous, unbelievably big ship, comes the Empire that tells you everything you need to know about the relationship between these two sides.
Almost everything. How is her brain not dead?
Well, it's
cybernetic preservation.
well, if it's it's shut down. It's in hibernation mode. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I was watching a true crime thing, and it was talking about how you can tell how long a person has been deceased, and apparently after about 3 days, the human brain begins to liquefy, and so the question is, how is her brain not liquid after 300 years?
Well, it would be the electronic
Because of movie.
versions of it. Yeah.
Because of her antimatter heart, it kept everything
That's it. That's it.
preserved. That was my idea.
My
Later
suspension of
on.
disbelief.
Yes,
That
your
means
she's
suspension
alive.
of disbelief is how
I-
she's alive.
I found old hard drives in my garage, years old that had been neglected. I plug them in, and sometimes they'll come right back up.
Oh, yeah, but they're not made of biomimetic gel.
You don't know where I get my hard drives.
That's true. I didn't mean to assume your biomimetic gel.
So I'm just gonna mention the name of the nurse, Nurse Gerhard. She doesn't have a whole lot of lines in the movie, so I just wanted
Well,
to make
yeah,
sure
but,
she was
like,
mentioned once.
She's not even in the anime.
No, I know it's some guy drinking a beer, hanging around.
Like, I don't know
instead in the
what I
anime.
don't know what her addition is, but she's fine. She doesn't do anything, but she has
No.
the character of a lamp.
Well, and she has a nice cybernetic arm, and she does
I
her
always
job.
thought that she was like a robot.
Okay.
While
No,
watching
no,
the
well,
movie, I
she's
thought she
part-
was a robot.
You know what they say in 2563 is that, way back, they don't build them like they used to in 2200. So.
I didn't get any videos for this, but I got a few gifs.
Oh, nice. See, and that's, yeah. I can see how that would be off-putting.
Yeah, it's almost like they should have gone a little bit bigger. It's too
Well,
uncanny valley.
but it's also like it does visually, as you said before, it's all being conveyed visually. And so it does sort of, okay, she's not human. Like it does convey her cybernetic existence without saying anything. It's just like, yeah, no, don't forget, she's a robot. And later on, when we see her eviscerated, it is heartbreaking, but you know she can come back from it. So I dig it. I think that the visual storytelling in this movie is on point.
That's
Well,
always good when she actually does suffer because we don't want her to be too perfect because she is overpowered also. So it's important for her to have some kind of vulnerability at points, and this movie does that. Herc 130, hello
Hey,
to
Herc.
you, and hello to Sinister. And Larry is here too. It has
Larry.
Blade Runner vibes.
okay, back to the
Yeah.
manga. Her brain was in a state of suspended animation, protected within her cyborg chassis, with its
That
organic components naturally preserved by tightly packed proteins and chemical factors.
with mint
Right
frosting.
on.
She was basic. She has a built-in
Cellular
formaldehyde
peptide.
system in her brain
Cellular
Sweet.
peptides.
Yes, with
with frosting.
Yes, I remember. Yes, Scotty. Thanks for the Star Trek reference. But thank you for looking up the manga explanation. That's what I wanted in this movie because I know James Cameron likes to keep it simple, stupid, and I love it when there's detail in my sci-fi, and that's the detail I wanted. Woohoo. That the body was just that well made in true manner, but we got a good answer. Thank you. I thought she was just a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
Wrong movie.
Yeah, she is a cyborg. I use suspension of disbelief just to get through a normal day.
hmm
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you when my suspension of disbelief fades.
Yeah, apparently they didn't actually shrink her eyes. They just made her irises bigger and somehow that made it look better. According to what I found out. Anyway, they're checking her out. They're rebuilding her and she's all rebuilt now and she marveled at her hands and she looked at everything and she's discovering herself and
Yeah, they can make her better, stronger, faster. Sorry, had to do it. As a
yeah.
child of the 70s, I
But I
had to do
really
it.
like how her discovering her, abilities, and I mean that in the most basic level, like her sensory perceptions through her fingertips, also speaks to the aptitude of Christoph Waltz, Dr. Ito.
Mhm. Yes, Dr. Ito, he has a clinic, but most of his patients cannot pay, so he
Accepts
has
turnips.
so we'll see later, well, oranges too.
Yes.
And later on we'll see
Oh, that is
how he
so
funds his
adorable.
clinic. Yeah, she still doesn't know her name, but we do, so we know she's going to be named Alita. But right now
Which
she's
is
hungry.
strange because for most of the anime, they never refer to her as Alita. Like
Galley.
it's Galley. Yeah. I love this. That is absolutely hilarious.
That's every child that has a lemon for the first time.
Yeah. Or it's like, here, have a peanut, and you give a peanut to a child and it's in the shell and they just pop the whole thing into their mouth and they chew on tree bark for a second and say, "Why? Why did you give this to me?"
Nim 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 says, "Good to see Istophobos on. I haven't seen this, but I want to. So I'm not going to
Recommended.
watch in case of spoilers. Just popping in to say hello. Hello, Nim Nim Nim. And I hope you enjoyed this movie when you get around to watching it. It is very
And
good.
also, there's not going to be much in terms of spoilers.
Yes. Well, yeah, there will.
When was the
I
last
go
time
through
you
the
went
whole
to a
movie.
When was the last time you went to a movie where the main character's name was in the title of the movie and they didn't win?
Oh. Well, winning. Yeah, it's just yeah. Well, that's sort of debatable.
I
And it
saw the
is a
last
dystopia.
Batman movie. Oh, actually, you know what? James Bond, No Time to Die. He dies. Spoilers.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're
Spoilers.
just making her irises bigger, though. It looks like her entire orbital cavity
Yeah,
is larger.
totes.
Hmm. I'm
What
sure
do you
you're
think of
correct.
Christoph Waltz playing the character? Because like even in the anime,
He
Doctor
looks like
Ito
Egon.
he looks like Egon from the real Ghostbusters. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
like I go.
um I love Christoph Waltz, but he has sort of bad guy energy. And in casting him, I think they wanted to add some deliberate ambiguity to his motives. Like for a long time, I wondered if they were going to do something different with him because of the casting. He almost seems like a little untrustworthy, and I know the way they unfold the story shows that too, and that's a little different from the manga. I don't think you ever hold the Doctor Ito and the manga under suspicion like you would want to do in the movie.
Yeah, it
Huh.
almost causes a bit of disappointment when that setup isn't paid off.
Well, no, it is paid off. It is. It is because he is a hunter warrior,
Yes.
and that's what draws
But
Alita
but he's good
into a
though.
life of
Essentially
crime.
what he's doing though is has reasons.
Yeah,
And
he's
Yeah.
so
harvesting
doesn't
organs.
he
I mean, in general,
Larry.
he's in simplistic terms, he's a good guy, but I wasn't convinced of that, even though I know how the story goes when I was watching the movie.
I did expect darker too.
Larry, and Gavin are correct.
Oh,
When you
so
have a
I'm
name in a title, yeah, no, Wrath of Khan, Khan does
Rathacon.
die.
He did not get to
He
have
did
his
not.
wrath.
Well, he did have his wrath. He killed
Yeah, he
Spock.
did. Oh, that's true. Okay, that's fair enough. So at first I was wondering when I was taking the slides, why am I seeing Spanish? And it's because the this was actually set in Kansas in the anime, but it was set near the equator in the movie. So it's like in the Spanish rainforest because the Sky City is the science fiction behind it is like a space elevator. However, space elevators work in sci-fi. And
So they
apparently
need to
that
be equatorial.
yes. Yes, and I suppose James Cameron found out about that and included it in the movie, and I like that. And it's
Well,
not
and I
explained at all in the movie, but I enjoyed
no,
that
but also like in the
fact.
anime, it's they talk about how the lunar tidal forces make it so that what's the name of the city? Like the
Iron
floating
City.
city? No, the
Oh,
floating one.
that's Zalem. Zalem?
Zalem, right, right.
Zalem? Oh.
Zalem, yeah. No, but I like that and making it more equatorial. And then again, it's like a flourish of Robert Rodriguez.
And so we get to explore the city with Alita and not get
And
run over by
Shuri,
taxi.
yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing and I think that this is what in terms of the filmmaking really does well. Like these digital matte paintings making this world real and tangible and livable, and also there's a lot more dog in this than there is in the anime. But it's like when you see something that is sort of uncanny on purpose, like Alita, but she is walking through a real environment. And so I dig it. I like it. It clicks for me.
Yes, and it introduces elements of the story before they actually talk about it, like the wanted posters for the hunter warriors.
And this scene is where you get an idea of her, you see her capabilities. She's not a
Yes, first
normal doll.
she's not. Hugo thinks she is when he pulls her out of the way, but then he realizes how what her abilities are when she saves the dog. She goes back in to save the pup, which doesn't have a name. I was trying to find out the name. And so those security bots are called Centurions, and we don't get to see her fight it because Hugo grabs her out of the way and she saves the puppy.
I
And Hugo
do
asks
prefer
Alita to look her over and admires Ito's handiwork.
the anime how they met, where Yugo was in the employ
Mhm.
of Dr. Ito in terms of being like a repair scrapper guy. And in this one, it seemed a little too, she's all that.
Well, actually, he does. He is working for Ito. He's going to get him some driver boards soon. So
Yeah, I liked it
he's
better when
not
he was repairing the windmill.
true. He's not doing a lot for Ito.
Yeah,
He's
he just shows up and then Ito says, "Oh, hey, Yugo. I
You
know
got
you."
that thing? You got the thing I need? No. Okay, go away.
Yeah.
So I've never actually seen the anime. I've read the manga and I saw this movie several times, but um, I do stupid things like discovering
What?
there's a director's cut of Supergirl, and I spent my time seeing if that was any better. And no, it was not. I should have been
Dude, I
watching the
have
anime
that.
instead.
I have the Supergirl uh
Uh,
deluxe extended edition. I'm glad we both wasted our time on that.
yeah, I think of no better contrast actually than this movie and Supergirl. I love her casting and the Peter O'Toole, like, but Faye Dunaway, such a waste. I can't believe that script got past actual grown-ups to get into
Yeah.
production. It boggles my mind.
When I go in to watch a movie like Supergirl, I ensure my THC levels to be at their highest degree.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink in 26 years, so I don't have the
Congratulations.
luxury.
I'm sorry to fail you.
You haven't failed me. Um,
Yay.
but I don't get to go into things like that extra stupid, except the only stupidity I have is my own natural stupidity, which is considerable, but not enough to make it through super.
Well, yeah. No, I watch both and the audio commentary. Fucking love Supergirl in how much
Really?
I really dislike it.
Oh, now, ooh, I haven't even gotten to the commentary. Did they explain why they made the decisions that they made?
Uh, you know what? It's
Brief.
basically an hour and 45 minutes of apologies.
They're just like, we're sorry.
We wanted
So
this to be good.
okay, so a lady gets out of her cab heading home and someone attacks and murders her. And there's where the audience discovers that Ito is killing, but we don't know that he's a warrior hunter yet, but we know it. So it does develop a little bit of a mystery as to who he is just for a little bit before we figure it out.
Yeah, they really made this into a real tangible place that you could really see being in, and the fact that it's kind of a low trust society. You have this underlying suspicion of like anybody and everybody that you meet, and there are some good people, but there's also an enormous contingent of everybody sort of out for themselves, just trying to survive around here.
Yes. Yes, and to ramp that up a bit, Ito tells Alita not to stay out late after dark and to stay nearby, close close by the neighborhood. Then then we meet Shireen, played by Jennifer Connelly, who's staring a little too hard at Alita because, well, we don't know why until a couple of scenes later that's because Alita has her late daughter's body, cyborg, um,
Uh,
robot shell body.
I thought she was fantastic in this. Um, Jennifer Connelly rarely lets me down, and it's not just because she's gorgeous. She's a very good actress, and I don't really have a criticism. Like Ed Skrein was a little chewing on the scenery, but I don't have really much criticism with anybody's performance in this
I maybe Hugo a bit, but he is young, so I guess I forgive him a bit.
film. He's
And
also completely taken by Alita. So.
true, true, and so are we.
Yeah, but boys who are in that state often act incredibly irrational.
Oh, and Brogu's gotta go. So long, Jill and Scotty, and I'm sure he means you too, Estephobos. Enjoy the rest of your stream, and also enjoy your weekend. You enjoy your weekend too, Brogu. I hope you have a wonderful time. And so Ito and she and Ito take a walk, and they talk about what I just talked about, that Alita has the body and the name. In the anime, apparently, she was just named after Ito's dead cat. So there's no dead daughter in the anime, or probably the manga either. And so they have some domestics, but they're not together. Obviously, they broke apart because of that tragedy. And then we get into Motorball, but just the street version of Motorball, but like the ones that the kids were inspired to play in Japan for real, which is I think is the cutest thing.
Yeah, it's basically hockey with imagination, but
Yeah.
some of the details like that look like a very convincing sort of open air market. I just I love the practical sets here, and it really does look lived in.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah, I like it too. Well, what did they? I'm sure they didn't throw the ball into a pipe. I would have liked to see it.
A
So,
little trash can.
a trash can. That makes sense. So they're playing Motorball that she saw on TV earlier. I forgot to mention. She saw it on TV, but Ito just said, "Don't waste your time with that." So, of course, we know she's gonna totally waste her time with that. And but first, they have to talk first. She has to explain that she is gonna do whatever it takes to go to Zalem, and she's gonna claw her way up there and build. She's a cyberneticist too, so they essentially have Ito and Sharon both basically have the same talents, but she's using her talents to make robot, modifications to the cyborgs for rollerball. So rollerball? Wait a minute.
Motorball.
Motorball. Excuse me.
Yeah. Now these parts were filmed in location in Austin, and they did build extensive practical sets.
And that makes sense because there's a lot of Spanish architecture in Austin. That makes sense that they would do that.
Yeah, and they used McKinney Falls State Park for the Sky City stuff.
Cool.
He was
That's good information.
yeah, rather than being like on a studio backlot, I think the location shooting here really adds to the convincing environment.
Mhm. Yes.
And the heat.
Yeah, and the heat's important. It goes along with the color scheme. So they play the game. And it's her first time, so of course the first time she's playing, she crashes right into the signpost. She has no idea what she's doing. But it doesn't take her long to figure things out. She tries again. She also loses the second time. Oh wait, she's still crashing into the signpost. But the second time she does it, Tanji knocks her down. He takes the ball to win or score, whatever. But here, some sort of fury seems to have triggered in Alita. And one of the things I liked about the anime that wasn't included here was that when that kind of fury comes into her, and you see it happening in the movie just naturally, so you assume it. But she says something took over me, and I wasn't even controlling myself. I was just doing the moves.
Setup
Yeah.
alert. I want to give a shout out to her performance here. She's plucky, is stubborn, but her enthusiasm seems really genuine. I mean,
Mm,
I just like I said, I was I fully bought into her character as being an actual person, even though she was a cyborg.
exactly. There. Well, and he's Hugo later on says that she's the most human person he knows. I don't know if that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it was a really sweet line, which we'll get
That
to later.
smile was a little creepy though, but
Oh, and
oh,
she says her favorite food is oranges, so he shows her chocolate.
speaking of creepy,
Yes, this guy.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of also how the movie was made, there's a picture of the finished product of the movie, and then with all the special
Uh,
effects kind
oh
of
yeah, her
stuff
eyes are
going on.
definitely bigger though. You can see how they reach all the way back to her.
See.
Short of taking a ruler to my monitor though. So
Mhm. Yes.
Well, I'd love to see a picture of Ed Screen in his mocap suit.
Yeah, I should have got one for everybody before the CGI was added. Why didn't we
Also,
do that?
who's that tubby guy in the yellow shirt?
I don't know. Extra 451.
Okay. Looks like Gabe from Valve.
So this movie has great world building without showing you too much. It just shows you a little at a time. So we we see Zapan here, but we really meet him later.
kind of, I think Walter Sobchak has wandered in from the
Oh, is
other
that
movie set.
Walter? Nice.
No, but I can see it. If Walter grew a beard, I could totally see
I can get you a toe. I can get you a
it. With
toe
nail
by 2 o'clock.
polish.
So aside from the background actors, Alita's immediately drawn to his sword, and so that'll be important later too. So lots of setups going on
And payoffs,
at the
yeah.
beginning of this movie. Yeah,
Hey,
payoffs come
Spidey.
later. Chocolate.
Okay, I
Well,
can
it's
ask.
sure.
I want to ask you guys because I haven't streamed a lot with you. Do you get the feeling that like a lot of maybe the majority of movies and shows today are mostly payoff without the setup? Because that's kind of how I feel when I watch some of this stuff.
I kind of feel the opposite. I think that it's a lot of setup, and then you're waiting. Like that's a great story for another time. And it's like when?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's just maybe it's a disconnect between all the setups. I kind of feel like the setups are maybe my imagination with what they're doing. But there's definitely a lack of connection between what we get as payoffs and any significant setup on their behalf.
Well, and I think that this does a great job. Like even the flashbacks that Alita has, they are like, what is this? And we're only given these are memories that she has. They are not connected. She does not know. And we as an audience never know. And yeah, maybe it could be sequel bait, but it is something that she is contending with. And I still think, even without a sequel, this is a pretty decent self-contained single film.
Yeah,
It's
I
just she's
agree.
haunted by the memories.
Now, I really feel like flashbacks are like slow motion. It should be used sparingly and with very specific intent
Hmm.
because I think it gets overused a lot and I can get quickly annoyed at extended flashback scenes. So here in this movie, they do it really well.
It
Hmm.
is really great the way they'd use the flashbacks because it shows that she's remembering things and not just remembering her past, but also remembering how to be, what she is, and how all her talents also come with every single after each flashback she remembers something new and you don't know exactly what, but sometimes you see it. There's a lot more show than tell in this movie. But there is a little tell too, which I appreciated. Like part of the dystopia is that guns are outlawed because that's one way to keep your population oppressed, and it explains why everybody's only using bladed weapons and uh and mini flamethrowers.
Yeah. How did they convey that idea in this movie? I'm trying to remember. You've seen it much
Well,
more.
Well, they just said it. They just said it in
yeah.
this case. They did tell into the show at that point.
But
But
that's something that I really appreciate in that this is not a gunfight movie. This is very hand-to-hand combat. And I guess it translates nicely into the gladiatorial sitch that we get to eventually. But yeah, like even with the hunter warriors, it's like, well, they used to have a thing called the police, but now we just do it ourselves. They
oh
tell
yeah,
us
that's
what
another good example.
we they tell us what to do, and we do it for money.
Yeah, when society devolves and declines, it always goes back to gladiators.
Omni consumer products, come on, privatize the law enforcement.
So the next day, Hugo shows Alita his dream that going on top of this building to go up to Salem by showing her his best view of it from this building. And
Okay, that is not a space elevator. It's not even close to being.
no,
That could be anywhere, but I do appreciate his attempt to at scientific accuracy.
Well,
yes,
but also
even though it's
Salem
not
is
included in the movie, I do appreciate the imagination.
Salem is a ripoff of Elysium. Or sorry, strike that, reverse it. Elysium is a ripoff of Salem.
Yeah.
And there are these tubes that you can supposedly climb, but he's not strong enough. He tells her, if I were as strong as you, I'd climb up that tube, and that is foreshadowing. So that's good. I like that. Then Hugo says he has connections that'll get him there one day.
Now,
And
in this movie, is it Hugo or Hugo?
here
with an
it's
H?
Hugo with an H, and
Don't.
in the anime it's with the Y.
Yeah, I don't understand why they changed that.
Because they don't have an H sound in
All right.
Japanese.
Well, no, but I just don't. I think it would be again. They use so many of the original characters' names that I don't know why they changed it from Hugo to Hugo. It's weird.
And one of the bookend quotes is that she calls herself an insignificant girl. It seems to be a very important theme from beginning to end. Before she knows anything and after she knows everything, she still holds that opinion. The only thing that is majorly different from the anime, from what I could tell, is that we learn something else that's illegal for people in Iron City, and that's flying aircraft. So in deleted character history for Hugo in the anime, somewhere around the scene, we learn Hugo was raised by his much older brother, who first had the dream to go to Salem and tried to carry out that dream by building a hot air balloon. And it's really obviously very tragic. He gets caught and killed for it, and he was betrayed by his wife. What? Crazy. And that's some pretty dark history for Hugo that they didn't include here, which I guess would have I like it. I wish they included it, because then you also had the funeral spoilers with the little mini hot air balloon, which was much sadder than what happens in the movie.
See, and that's where my suspension of disbelief falls apart in this movie. Is when we do discover that Christoph Waltz was married to Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, I'm like never.
Yeah, but you see a
like
lot of
not on
baffling-
his part, on her part. I'm just like, nah, Jennifer Connelly's not going to deal with Christoph Waltz.
Well, maybe they just connected on their shared interests. I don't know.
Well, they are both cyberneticists.
I cannot remember anything about Elysium, Scotty. Now that you brought it up, I know I saw it, but wow, it was
Yeah.
not memorable.
Well, it was, it was visually stunning and I enjoyed the action in it. And I think Matt Damon was great. And yeah, no, I think it's worth a revisit, but it's kind of like dry white toast.
So I'll watch it when
Also,
I'm
I
sick.
don't like this actor. Jill, what's the name of this actor?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. No,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Kidding.
What's his name? Kean Johnson as Hugo.
That's an
I'm not a
insult
big.
to JTT. He's a much
It
better
is.
actor.
It is actually
Sorry.
rather upsetting. Somewhere, Jonathan Taylor Thomas is squirming in his hot tub.
Yeah, Keenan Johnson. Right on.
I get.
I don't like him. He's not
I
charismatic, and especially beside Rosa Salazar.
I think he's one of the weaker castings in the show, but yeah, there's
Totes.
something a little bit forced about him.
Yes.
And also, just considering the rest of the casting, like this is a slideshow of classic Robert Rodriguez and Jimmy Cameron heroes. It's
Well, we
great.
haven't even got to my favorite yet. My favorite actor.
Like,
in
look
this
at
movie.
that. Like, this is a practical set. They built this. This is amazing.
Yes, and he's putting together his weapon. He's going to
I
take out
love
one of his
this.
bounties. He's got a
If I,
contract.
oh man, if when I get some money, I'm gonna get a rocket powered pickaxe.
A rocket-powered pickaxe. And, well, and Alita was stalking him to see what he's doing every night. Why? His arm got hurt. His arm got hurt. I missed saying that earlier before he was injured. So she's figuring out what he's doing and discovers that he is a hunter, warrior. Oh, Matt
Matt,
G saw this in the theater.
good for you, man.
Nice.
That's dope.
So, so we've got the first battle in this movie with Grishka and Romo and
Jill, you're
Nasinya.
allowed to mispronounce every name in this movie.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Gosh.
I love it.
Well,
And
I
this
mean,
is
and describing action is just my worst thing. But
now I
he
don't know
gets
how it
one
goes.
arm off.
I don't know how it goes in the manga, but this is fairly faithful to the anime. And
Yeah, it
I
really
do
does have serious Blade Runner vibes here that I probably
sure.
didn't recognize as much when I first saw it. But I think the in the manga it was similar. Their fighting is done a bit differently in still panel images, but this is basically how it goes. And man, I love his outfit. It's just sort of I don't know what it is, but I do
I
really
do.
like the production design.
Yeah.
The hat, it's the coat, it's very cool.
Like
A lot
I'm
of fun,
living in
very creative.
2025 and I desperately want to live like or dress like I'm living in a cyberpunk dystopia because I am. And then anytime I do that, everyone's like, "Why are you dressed like that?" And I was like, "Oh, forget it."
Well, I wouldn't want to be a cyborg like this lady. It just doesn't seem practical. How does she eat?
How does Edward Scissorhands go to the bathroom? He would cut his pee-pee.
Yeah, that's true. I love Edward Scissorhands, though.
But it doesn't make sense. He would cut his pee-pee if he went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's eat chocolate. A robot with knife hands, says Gavin Blackburn. Thank you. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Very
And now I'm
disturbing
just watching
imagery
this.
here.
Yeah, the way her cybernetic body is designed, it's almost like they didn't want her to seem as human.
It is Dark
has
City vibes,
animalistic.
not Z3PO. But the thing is, and this is what I really appreciate about this movie, is that it is a cyberpunk dystopia, but it does take place, like, you do feel the warmth of the daytime when it happens. Like, I don't know if the ozone layer's gone. I don't know if there's global warming. I know that Earth is a trash can. But yeah, Dark City vibes. And if you haven't seen Dark City, I highly recommend it. But yeah, I do appreciate seeing a dystopia in glowing, warm sunshine. Because, it's sunny in hell.
Yeah, it's sunny in hell in this particular instance. And we don't even get to see what it's like to be in the Sky City. We are just as clueless as the residents of Iron City.
Well, we
Scrap City.
want it.
Yes. We want to go there as much as they do.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Except-
Texas. Whoop whoop. Says
Whoop, whoop.
Canadian Spider-Man. Hey.
Except for Dr. Ito. Like Ito in the anime, he still has the little blue chip in his forehead. But in this one, he explains and he's like, I took it out. Forget that place. I don't want it. I would rather be here.
Yeah, I think in what they were kicked out, but they were kicked out from the Sky City for different reasons. I don't know. I think he was just doing crimes in the anime, and here he was kicked out because his daughter wasn't perfect or something.
Well, no, I think that his daughter was killed, and so he went.
Well, his daughter was killed in when they were already not in Salem anymore.
Well, and yeah, and that's what sort of drives Dr. Ito.
Yes,
But-
that drives what he does later. I'm trying to imagine the backstory because I like this story and I want to know more. And I feel like some of it's a bit hazy.
Well, you like books?
I do.
There are books.
Yeah, I should go read those.
Well, there are many pictures. You
Oh,
can see
look,
the
somebody,
picture.
Gavin said you were correct this time. Mainly set up now with very little payoff, and the setup and payoff is usually done in the same scene. They think the audience is stupid. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, that is disappointing. No, we can learn something at the beginning of the movie and wait a while before it is
Well,
revealed. That's more fun that way.
It's the J.J. Abrams. It's the mystery box. And it's like everyone loves the idea of wanting to discover. And we do. I think humans do. I think anyone who is enticed by fiction wants to be pulled in by a question. And the problem is that people are very good at asking questions, but they're not very good at giving answers. And that's the J.J. Abramification of storytelling nowadays. It's like if we can hook them with a question in the opening, then they'll stick with us forever until we answer it. So what's the answer? I don't know.
Well, I always maintain you don't necessarily have to give the audience the question, but the creator, the author, the director, they need to know, because the answer to that is going to inform all of their other decisions. And you can tell when you have this cool question and the writers have no answer to it. It's pretty obvious. So, I had the problem with X-Files. I had the problem with any J.J. Abrams thing. And it's gotten real bad. And I was thinking about the payoffs in Babylon 5. Many of them come 3-4 years down the road. And it's just so satisfying when they get there. Yeah, it was a little bit agonizing to have to wait, but man, what a monumental feat he pulled off with that shit.
I do appreciate when a writer knows exactly where they're going in a TV series and they have at least a basic plan for what they're going to end up with. The Eclectic Goat says Dark City rocks. And hello to
It does.
Eclectic Goat.
Hey, Eclectic. It's nice to see you.
Her channel. Check it out. She's getting a new setup, computer setup. Exciting times.
You need a chunky keyboard that makes a lot of noise when you type.
you have to watch 120 episodes of a Hispanic soap opera before you finally get to see the couple from the first episode kiss.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and that's what I like. Oh, my stars. It's a situation where I think modern storytelling is like watching a gymnast, and it doesn't matter how good that gymnast may be on the pommel horse and the parallel bars and the rings, and you're doing backflips and everything. If you can't stick the landing, what the fuck was I watching for? Sorry about the swear.
mm. Yes, agreed. Agree with that completely. And maybe
Like,
they
where's
weren't
Cybok
ever
is what I'm saying.
maybe
Anyway.
maybe the problem is they weren't ever worthy of being in the Olympics in the first place.
That's probably it. Yeah.
But Alita knows what she's doing. She has before she didn't do this before, but when she has the flashback, she's able to do this. So she's remembering how not only what her past was, but how to do that special kind of fighting that she can do.
Well, and I like this in terms of the character development of Alita, is that in the anime, she's like, my body just did it by itself. I didn't know what was happening, but it just happened.
I
And
wish I would have said that here.
in this one, there is that flashback with Michelle Rodriguez, I may add. Shout out to Robert Rodriguez for casting Michelle Rodriguez as the superior officer, question mark, for Alita, or whatever her name was before she had been thrown into the garbage dump. Like, it's amazing. Like, everything about this movie contributes to the story. I am so surprised by how much I like this movie. Hey, Ben.
Oh, I was muted. I think her original name was Gally in the manga, but
And in the anime as
Yoko.
well. But that was
Right.
just like sort of a nickname because she didn't know her own name. And in this one, they name her after the deceased daughter,
Yeah, Yoko.
Yoko.
Yeah.
You can be my Yoko Ono. You can follow me wherever I go.
So Cinema Gulp says that he loves this movie. I thought you had said you loved it. So much heart and great storytelling. Really underrated. I'm glad you're here,
Yeah.
Ben. Hope you're doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And yeah, so lots of great fun action going on.
They fight. They
They
fight.
fight.
They fight. They fight.
Two
They
of them
fight.
die.
Fight,
but
fight,
of
fight.
course,
Fight, fight, fight. Alita and Mechatron show.
yes, Nisiana dies, Romo dies, but not this guy. He leaves for another day. Gruishka.
Yes.
And so he gets to collect the bounty. He gets money for his clinic, and that's the reason why he's a hunter warrior. One of the reasons. And then, of course, we learn the other reason is to avenge his daughter forever and ever by feeling responsible for all of the monsters that are created, even though he's not creating them anymore.
That's a nice translation from the original, from the source material, is that there is that little pillar or whatever robot, that little vending machine. Like, it's great. Like, this is, I think, fairly faithful. Maybe it's not 100%, but it's up there. I'd say it's a 70% adaptation.
Cinema Gulp says it bums me out they couldn't figure out a way to financially make a follow-up. I hear that they're thinking about another one. I don't know if it's in production. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the deal with the sequel. But there's stuff. I don't think they gave up on it yet.
Hopefully not. You know what the
Yeah.
problem is? James Cameron.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
I want to be in Pandora.
apparently last month there's a news article from Den of Geek that James Cameron is still promising Battle Angel 2.
Den of Geek.
Maybe?
The most trusted name in pop culture news.
Well, that's why I named who it is in case it's not true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just making fun for no reason.
I feel like if Cameron really wants to get something done, he'll come up with the financing to do it. I think
Yeah.
this was more a matter of priorities. He just got completely consumed by Avatar. And
Stick
remember-
blue people in the sequel, says Gavin.
Exactly. Let's make Alita Battle Angel 2 on Pandora. But, like, remember when they released the Tintin movie? And the first one was directed by Steven Spielberg, and the second one was going to be directed by Peter Jackson. And they did the whole thing, and they never did the follow-up. And it was like that was the joint production, but it didn't make enough money, or it didn't have the reception that they intended. And so I feel like that's the same thing here. Whereas this didn't necessarily lose money, but it didn't set the world on fire either.
yeah, bad timing. Oh, and that fight scene, that was the first example we get of Panza Kunsuto, which that's her fighting style. I think they call it Panzerkunst.
That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you so
And
much.
it's translates to
Panzerkunst?
Panzer for armor, Kunst for art. It's the art of armor. And
I am Klaus.
that is the fighting skill that she was built to practice. And
Yeah, it
Oh,
comes.
she
doesn't come with a manual, but she knows how to do that skill.
Well,
listen,
and-
I'm very old, and I have yet to meet a woman that comes with a manual.
If I
Also-
could make a woman come with a manual, oh my stars.
Yeah, and I have several kids who also failed to come with a manual, much to my
Well, we don't want
disappointment.
kids to come with a manual.
Yeah, you do. Like, what do I do now?
I think you're
Hey,
misinterpreting
we
what I
gotta,
mean.
and I'll be right back.
I know.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, no, totally. Children should come with a manual, just so you can learn how to properly respect them, and ensure that their development is successful. But never mind, I don't want to say it.
I know what you're.
I'm gonna edit myself out. It's only early.
I
Hey,
was.
what happened? What did you say? I just stepped away.
I
for half
didn't
a
say
second.
anything. That's I was being subversive.
Okay, sorry guys. I had to discuss something with my daughter, and so I was a bit
Hey,
distracted
shifty
for the past
jism.
couple minutes.
Shifty Jism
And
is here.
that a real name?
Ben thinks
Yeah,
that
it's a real guy
yeah,
or
Shifty
girl.
Jism
I don't
is
know.
here.
I don't want to assume genders. Cameron
had a-
produced Alita, also Dark Angel. Dark Angel's a good one to bring up in this. But James
Okay,
Cameron's
wait,
always been good
Scotty?
at that. Yes,
I want to.
do what you want.
I was
to.
just yes. I want. Ben says that they're. I think that Ben thinks that the sequel is just all talk. That they talk about it every year is in terms of that, and so that they don't even have scripts. So maybe the sequel won't happen. I don't know. I guess
like
we
how-
won't know until it's.
I
in
like how
production.
Shifty Jism called Jimmy Cameroon.
I'm a GIF guy, so I would read that as Shiftygism.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm a
immediately in
GIF
my head when
guy.
I looked at the name.
Yeah, no. I find the word jism to be funny.
Yes. Yes, yes, me too, Ben. And also Dark Angel. Yeah, I haven't seen Dark Angel.
Yeah,
Heard
I
that
mean,
one.
Cameron has always been very concerned about, amazing female borderline superheroines. I
And-
absolutely love season 1 of Dark Angel.
And Robert Rodriguez is no stranger to it too. I found when I was getting gifts, I thought this would be funny to get this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love Planet Terror.
So do I. It's called Go Go. It's not called Cry Cry.
You can buy the complete box set of the manga for $87.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, it says complete, but it looks like it's only volumes 1 through 6. There are 3 more
Never mind.
volumes.
Oh,
Doesn't
no,
sound very
that
complete.
is bad. That's not complete. Oh.
I would like the complete Bible, please. All right, here's the Old Testament. And it's like, I wanted the complete. What am I doing with the Torah?
I gotta give you props. That one was funny.
Well, we are here for entertainment and fun.
Yes, and speaking of, well, not fun exactly, Ito's daughter is just killed because she's in the way. It's completely senseless, and it's because the cyborg just was jonesing for some kind of drug, and she just got in the way. And that's when he stops working for the motorball sport and starts killing.
This is when he retires from the NFL.
He retires from the NFL and starts killing football players.
Yeah. Well, wait. No, he's not Billy Blanks from The Last Boy Scout.
No. Just the bad football players, the ones that are serial killers. Actually, there was one difference. Okay. Anyway.
I do have to step away for a second. I'll be back in a flash. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like there is. I can't find anything that has all 9 volumes. It definitely looks like 1 through 6, and then they did 7, 8, and 9 as separate things.
Oh, so, okay, so that's fine. Thank you for checking that out.
Yeah, those last volumes, though, they really sort of focus on her origin and her evolving powers, and that's where she becomes a tuned agent. She learns the most about her past. So, I mean, you definitely don't want to, if you like the first 6, I guess, you definitely don't want to skip out because there's a lot of revelations in 7 through 9.
I guess that's fair enough. Yeah, if I like the first 6, then I'll finish it off. Good fall.
But it definitely, I mean, originally the 1 through 6 was going for close to $200. So 87 seems like a pretty good sale there.
Yes. And that last scene that we were just on, Sharon left after Alita's death, her actual daughter, not this Alita. And so then Ito went out to kill Alita's murderer, but that didn't make him feel any better, so he just kept killing for criminals that were wanted.
Yeah, I found Mahershala Ali very impressive in this movie. He was sort of bone chilling to me.
He's my favorite actor in this whole movie. He's amazing. I wanted more of him.
It's funny. I mean, I saw the movie. I knew who these people are, but it was only when we started talking I realized what a phenomenal cast altogether this has. Like, it just, I didn't put the pieces together in my head. This is pretty. This is a phenomenal group of thespians here.
Yes, but I forgot to mention the heart. I do like the science fiction-y stuff, so this is the most we get here is the explanation that the heart is an antimatter micro reactor that could power the city if they wanted.
You didn't like that part, or?
I do like it.
Oh, yeah, it is sort of interesting that how he would so easily come across one of these.
Yes, he just has it in his database. It's lost technology, except for that he knows about it.
Yeah, and it is one of those, like, I've noticed in all the hundreds of manga that I read, Japan is a very high trust society. I lost my wallet in Tokyo and it got returned with all the money in it. And then I lost it in a small town too. The same thing happened. I got to stop losing my wallet. But there's somewhat.
But if you're gonna lose your wallet, lose it in Japan.
Yeah, but they are somewhat fascinated at lower trust societies, and I think that's why cyberpunk has a large fascination to them because it's so different
Interesting.
from the world they live in, and um, that I believe that's why thematically cyberpunk it sort of it really does trigger on all the Japanese cultural interests, and I think that's why it sort of exploded there first. Things like
Hmm.
Akira and Ghost in the Shell. They
Yeah,
love
so that's why,
technology.
and they like dystopias.
Well, I would say they're fascinated and interested in them. I wouldn't go so far. I'm sure somebody likes them, but I think the closer your actual life becomes a dystopia, maybe the less interested you are in escaping to one in a film or entertainment product.
Maybe. Hmm. But we do see Vector here. He and Sharon have a business relationship, but we also see here that it goes a bit further than that. In the anime, there's actual nudity, but here she's just like this.
Another thing that's worth considering is the sort of the standard of living is often directly in proportion to your ability to create energy. Energy cost kind of drives our own society and economy. So to have something that could power the whole city like that, it's interesting that they did not, that he didn't sort of implement that into improving the quality of life for everyone. Just something that occurred to me.
Well, I imagine they get power from, I guess, stuff falls from the city, and I guess the garbage can sometimes be used as a power source. And
But you know what I mean? If they had that much available, clean, convenient energy, they should be much sort of in much less of a slum than they already are.
hmm, that's a good question. Is that addressed in the manga?
Not as I recollect. It was just, in fact, I didn't even think of it when I read the manga. It was something that occurred to me, when I saw the movie, and you see the disparity of the class structure and their where they live,
Mm,
because cheap, abundant, clean energy, man, that's what decides what kind of society you're gonna have.
true. And that'd be a good thing to answer.
But it would be a more boring, less cool story if they plugged the reactor into the town instead of her. So.
Hmm. Well, she was willing to give up her heart to Hugo, so I could foresee her giving it to the city too. But then she wouldn't be the superhero.
Yeah, that would
So we can't do that. Although also Vector is more powerful in the movie than in the anime. And
yeah.
one fun thing, I like that change. Hello, Max Redstone. He says, I did not see Alita. However, I am here to drop a like. Or lake? A whole lake? Thanks for the
Um,
lake.
you
Wish
also see,
everyone a good day. Have a good day. You have a good day too, Max.
hey Max, you see the name Angel show up a lot in Japanese media as well. I think it's um,
Mm.
there are a couple animes with Angel in it, like Steel Angel Kurumi, and I think one, it's an easy word for them to say, and they sort of like the concept of it as well.
Oh, that's good to know that cultural aspect.
Yeah, it would be Anjuru.
Enjoying that word. Oh, Canadian Spider-Man knows some Japanese too, if you ever wanted to talk to him. He's got a channel. If you have a robot girlfriend, I'd worry about the Chinese or my own government taking it over and ripping my his
Yeah.
his member off. Okay. Wow.
I don't think that would be their main motive in controlling your cybernetic companion. They could do well. I wouldn't say a lot worse, but
Hmm.
I think it would. You know, I'm already worried about my phone really not being in my own control. So there, and I'm not doing anything sorted with it.
Yes, hello to Not Z3PO, who says antimatter is hardly a clean source of energy. Gammas alone would make everything glow. Well, it
Well,
depends on how you use it.
yeah, gamma is also can be clean energy or it can be, incredibly lethal depending upon the implementation. So,
Yeah, in Star Trek, it's not so lethal.
yeah, it doesn't have tangible waste products, though. I think that's what, in the end, there's no truly clean energy because of thermodynamics. So, there's always going to be a cost. The universe provides nothing for free.
It's true. Perpetual motion machines are the one thing that is not going to happen. The Mars water bombers we used to make could drop a whole lake almost. Max Redstone, your lake is appreciated. It is. But if everything glows, think of how much you'll save on the lighting. Okay. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention in the last scene, Gruishka flies through the window, and even why didn't he use the door? I guess he's too big for the door, so he always has to just crash into everywhere. Never mind.
Well, that would be every, person over 6'2" in Japan as well. I can't tell you how many times I hit my head on the door jamb when I first moved there.
No, your poor head.
The general consensus was that every time it happened, I deserved it. So there.
I suppose. So Alita's trying to remember more stuff. And she is remembering some moves.
And by this time in the movie, she was just a teenage girl to me, a very scary teenage girl, but I had fully bought into her humanity at this point in the film.
Me too.
And you're really rooting for her.
I definitely believe it. At no point, I can't think of a lot of moments where I'm taken out of the movie. So Sharon is upgrading Gruishka. And she finds a telepresence chip inside of him. So some of these people have chips in them. So Zalem can track them because that's how they track their cyborgs and tell them apart. It's like their identification. She wants to remove it. Gruishka starts talking, but he doesn't sound like himself anymore. Nova is using him to speak, and Nova lives in the Sky City, and he is the big villain. He's the one that's even more powerful than Vector, who is ruling the underworld. He says at some point, I'd rather rule in hell than be a servant in heaven. And that's his perspective.
Ah, you're Milton.
Yeah, Nova's story concludes in volume 9, so he is the major baddie throughout the entire saga. I at this point, like, I'm a sci-fi guy. I'm not a body horror guy, and these kind of scenes, I often find pretty disturbing. And that one where he's hanging from the tendrils, and yeah, I mean,
but
there's some horror in this, definitely.
Isn't that sort of visceral feeling? Like I do not like seeing people in pain. I do not like displeasure. But it does elicit a visceral reaction from me.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I think it contributes to the story, the stakes, the severity of what we're going through with these characters. I think it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the reason I stick with it, even though I can feel very uncomfortable during scenes like that.
I think you're supposed to feel uncomfortable. I think that's that director's intention.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to be in any of these fights. Sharon.
It's better than real steel, is what I'm saying.
The movie, yeah, I mean, I always think back to my old, I've seen too much real blood in my lifetime as a youth. So,
Fair enough.
So Sharon gets
diminish that.
promised to go to Zalem if she helps Grushka kill Alita. So she agrees. She was already doing it, but now she's going to do it with more gumption, I suppose.
Well, okay, so I would like to objectify Jennifer Connelly for a moment here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but like if you, and also we will get to Mahershala Ali, but like
when his eyes are blue, you know he's Nova.
Yeah, exactly. But like I do think that where is the cutoff between classic Jennifer Connelly and modern Jennifer Connelly?
I don't think I personally never recognized a cutoff. It just sort of happened one day.
It did, yeah. But like if you were to look at this woman and say that she was in Requiem for a Dream or The Rocketeer, like as an adult, I'm not saying Labyrinth Jennifer Connelly, but like when was the moment where she just sort of she transitioned and maybe it was the difference of 15 pounds. I don't know.
It like was probably when she had her breast reduction, honestly.
Fair enough. It's like a Soleil Moon Frye thing.
And that would be a difference of 15 pounds.
That is a difference of 15 pounds to say
that's
it.
That's what Gavin says. Okay, you boys know what you're talking about there. Miss Martin Muses is here. Hello.
And by the way, that's not a bindi on her forehead there. That is the mark of Zalem.
Yes. Yeah, she did not get hers removed because she wants to go back.
Well, and in the anime, neither does Dr. Ito. He still has
True.
it.
That's true. And so in the next scene, Ito discovers there isn't even a bounty on Gruish, despite the fact that he's done a ton of murders that Ito reported. So somebody is protecting him, and I like that there's different levels of bosses. We got Gruishka, and then Vector, and then finally Nova.
Is there an Alita like video game? There must.
It is. It feels like boss fights.
Yeah, I was going to say kudos to the director here for not sort of falling into that video game trope. This movie could have easily been sort of video gamified, and it would be much the poorer for it. But they managed to avoid this with really good, solid writing and visual storytelling.
Well, and Jill and I were talking a couple nights ago, and we were talking about the nature of modern movies, and it's like, I think it was you, Jill, who lamented that there was no strong family representation in modern flicks.
In some of them. I didn't say none whatsoever.
Right.
And it was just a general statement that I made that was,
well, and also
there are exceptions, obviously, like Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that.
Well, and we just watched, well, I watched it. I didn't get to join you on the review, but the Twilight Zone episode, Fugitive. And it was sort of a parental and daughter, like it was a father and daughter story until it all fell apart in the end. But this is a movie where Dr. Ito and Alita, there is sort of a paternal quality. There is a sense of family and love, which I think is touching.
Yeah, but she's not wrong. We've definitely seen a diminishment of the emphasis on family pretty much throughout our whole society here in the West.
Well, I think that if you look for it, you can find it. And it's unfortunate that you have to look for it to find it, but you can find it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But you didn't used to have to. Like, I think it is something that as a society, we are slowly losing.
Well, you know what? I wish that we could go back to a time when you could be hard on the beaver.
I want to say hello to Jacob Ironside. Hello,
Come on,
Jacob
that was
Ironside.
gold.
No, it was good, but when you drop a funny joke like that, I like to just pivot and get
Yeah,
back
makes sense.
on
Makes
track.
sense.
It wasn't bad. I'll admit.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
I chuckled. I don't know our audience well enough to know if I should laugh out loud or not.
No, it's
Honestly.
fine. It's fine. They're used to being offended by my bullshit cannery.
Okay, so this is where Alita decides, "Hey, I want to be a warrior hunter too." And so she runs he says, "No, you shouldn't do that." But so she runs off and she's like, "I'm going to do what I want." And then she goes to a motorball match. It's a big pivot. I thought she was going to become a hunter warrior, but now she's going to hang out with her boyfriend.
Oh, the exact sinking feeling in my stomach that I had when my son told me he wanted to join the military, and because he, because of me, and I'm like, I don't recommend that, but I know how it feels when your child says that they want to go out and do something dangerous that you're not really a fan of.
See, it's so funny because my dad, he's retired now, but he was a policeman for 28 years of his life. And I remember when I was listless and I had no idea what I was going to do. And I went to him, and he had forever said, the only thing you cannot do is become a policeman. Do not be a cop. And I remember the day that I was completely adrift at sea. And I said to him, I was like, I think I want to be a cop. And there was a pride and a fear in his eyes. He was like, my boy wants to follow in my footsteps. I hope he doesn't. And that was the moment when I finally decided. When I told him, because I was just absolutely, I didn't know. I was so scattered. And I was like, I think I might just become a cop. And he was like, really? No, don't, never. And it was at once inspiring and heartbreaking just to see that look on his face where he was like, I have so much pride in my career and I do not want you to have it because of the danger. And so, anyway.
I wouldn't call the military my career. It was just one of the many things that happened to me on my way to becoming who I am. But, this particular child did not have the temperament for that. Had he been a different one, maybe I could see it. But I've always been proud of my children and I adore them immensely. But nothing will make you more frightened than your children.
Wow. That's true. I don't even want my children driving, but I mean, my oldest is 12, but I know it has to happen. I can't keep them forever.
Kids aren't learning to drive these days, though. You actually have a good chance of that happening.
No, he has to. He has to drive.
Man, I was chomping on the bit at 14 to get my license, and kids today, they have everything they need in their pocket. To us, driving was freedom, but for the kids today, they have their freedom in the palm of their hand. They don't need to go anywhere. And it's kind of sad. But again, I'm especially with traffic around here. I don't have a huge problem with their lack of driving enthusiasm.
I still remember the first time I drove stick, and I remember that I hated it. And then I moved to Australia, and I had to drive a delivery van, and I had to drive stick with the steering wheel on the wrong side of the vehicle. And it was like, here you go. And I was like, no one's going to show me how to do this? Nope.
Oh my God. They just threw you in the pool.
They gave me a truck and they said, figure it out.
I think you'll find, Jill, that when you go to where they drive on the other side of the road, it's just instantaneous. Your brain just easily adapts. You just sort of flip everything over. I didn't have any problem at all when I went to Japan. And then I often went back and forth from Okinawa, where they go back to our side of the road. So in southern Japan, they have a small area where they drive on the right. Otherwise, it's left. And never have any. It's like your brain knows what to do. You just don't think about it. It's surprisingly easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Driving can be an automatic thing, so I can understand that your brain would rewire.
Yeah. I'm assuming you know how to drive to begin with, though. Like,
yes.
But the adjustment.
I did learn late, but I got there in the end.
I mean, I was surprised that it took no adjustment time whatsoever.
Well, Jill did get hit by a dead woman.
She wasn't dead. She was asleep, and I thought she was doing a U-turn in the turnaround, but instead she came right for me, and that was what happened. And then I spun around, and I went on the other side of the road and got hit again. It was so much fun.
Yeah, but were you driving stick or automatic?
Just automatic.
Sounds like an easy collision. Sounds like it was too easy.
What do you mean easy?
I mean, you didn't have the effort of putting it into neutral. I'm making fun of a tragedy. I apologize.
Well, nobody died, fortunately. There was a giant pole that fell down that didn't fall on anybody.
Luckily. All right, phrasing.
So you got hit by a sleeping woman?
Yes, she was asleep.
Oh, my stars. I didn't mean to bring this whole thing up. But I did.
It's always...
It's always the sleepy women.
So it's sleepy women. My goodness. Anyway, I survived.
Meanwhile, back at Factory City.
Back to Motorball.
Yes. Back to Motorball. Hugo's got connections within the sport, and of course, he doesn't show why, but obviously we know it's because he's stealing people's parts. Alita doesn't know about it, so she's giggling, having fun at all the violence and destruction. And she learns about being a final champion. Final champion gets to go back to Salem, which is sequel bait set up for later.
Now, this is something that I didn't really understand. Is this like the Running Man, where it's like the promise of going to Salem is always a lie?
The cake is a lie?
Yeah. Like, I don't think... Like, does anybody get to go to Salem?
I haven't seen anybody go to Salem, and we, of course, see in the end, anybody who's promised Salem are sent in bottles or jars.
To the best of my recollection, it is a lie. Nobody ever gets to go.
That's my understanding. Yes. And that's why I think that Alita rises as a champion. Is because she's like, I'm fucking coming. And hell's coming.
That's the promise. It seems to be the promise of the movie that in the next one she's going to get there. What
do you think happens when she gets there? Does she get there in the manga?
Yes, the manga is relatively conclusive.
Does she destroy Salem?
I'm not going to spoil it, but the stories are complete.
All right. Do they build a great little off-ramp into Salem?
So this movie is so good. Even the some of the weapons are kind of have some character. So these are the grind cutters that are on Kanubu right now. He's using them to win, and he's messing up the odds. So he's got to go. And Shirin decides she wants them for her Gruishka upgrades. And that's when we find out that Hugo steals these things, and he steals the grind cutters.
Now, again, only being a sort of somewhat versed with the anime, I love Mahershala Ali in this movie. He is so good. I'm somewhat disappointed that he is just, he's badass and then he turns into a puppet. So
yes,
it's kind of like Jeremy Renner in the Avengers. It's like, oh, he's mind controlled. That's kind of shitty. But I do like his character, his characterization, and I think, This is the closest we'll ever get to seeing him play Blade.
Well, an evil Blade.
Well, Blade's not necessarily a good guy.
Well, he kills the vampires. So
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, all right. Blade is a good guy. You're right. Blade is a good guy. I would love to see Mahershala Ali play Blade.
Oh, that UFO slide's not supposed to be there.
I think we all
Meanwhile, back in Cardiff.
Yeah, I think we all wanted to see that. The problem is that wasn't what they were making for Mahershala.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they never got to do that. And you know what? I'm glad they didn't waste him on like a Netflix show. Or like, I would have much rather, I never saw Moon Knight. Because fuck television shows, except for the ones that I like. But I wish they had a Moon Knight movie. And same with Blade.
Yeah.
One thing I liked before was cyborgs call people human meat boys.
Yeah.
And
that's on my business card. I'm a human meat boy.
People call and humans call cyborgs hard bodies.
Wow.
And so they have slurs for each other.
I don't like that as much.
Yeah, one of them seems like a compliment, the other an insult. It hardly seems fair.
Yeah.
I'd call them like
I kind of want to get cybernetic enhancements just so I can be a hard body.
So, as bad as Hugo is for stealing these parts from people, he doesn't use these slurs, and he also loves Alita. So, then we go on a field trip.
Hooray.
Yeah, so we got to find... We're going into the rainforest. Really, really beautiful place to film.
Well, and also it's a nice change of pace from what we've seen so far.
Oh, I have a little bit of breaking news. Apparently, next year they're supposed to continue the Alita manga with another series. So that'll be series 4.
Original author?
The Panzerkunst Chronicle is set to continue in 2026.
With the original author?
That I'm not sure. I didn't think he was around. Let me
I'm not 100%. I don't know. Yeah. That's why I don't mean to. I'm not trying to gotcha. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Hugo was, well, this whole scene is Hugo showing Alita this ship, which is the URM ship, the United Republic of Mars, which does to help trigger memories, which it does because that's who she fought for. She fought for the enemy.
Typically manga are owned by the creators, so nobody else would be able to continue it.
Good.
So it was supposed to come out this year. Through let's see.
So if we don't get the movie, we're gonna get more books.
Yeah. So,
but I can't read.
Yeah, Kishiro is going to continue. I know he had some health problems during the original series, which is why the ending got a little bit rushed. But so yeah, that'll be the 4th series, and so there is a lot more Alita out there for people who want it.
Well, I just discovered it thanks to Old Man Bird. And so I love the backdrop. I love the ship. We finally get to see a ship. It's kind of weird. Nobody does ransack it, but lucky for her.
You know what? This was touching for me, just in terms of personal experience, if you'll indulge me, is I was in Vietnam, and I went walking around Hanoi, and I ended up, through happenstance and random adventure, in the middle of like an apartment block around a lake or a pond, more accurately, a pond. And it had a B-17 bomber crashed in it. Had no idea, wasn't looking for it. And I was like, what the hell is that? And there was a plaque. And it was like, this is incredible. I can't believe I found this.
Can you go back to that slide, Jill, on the lake? I loved when they held up the dagger to the sky and it showed them on the ship.
They showed it where the Death Star was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just couldn't, like, that's an absurd scene there. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Ho Chi Minh City, yeah. No. It wasn't Ho Chi Minh City. It was Hanoi. It was in northern Vietnam. And so, yeah. And it was like, holy moly. And so I do appreciate, like, Japan and Vietnam and Asian history fascinates me. It's so interesting. It starts with the idea that when I went to go see the Vietnam War Museum, it was called the American War Museum, which makes sense because it was Vietnam, right? And who invaded? Now, I am very pro-American. I love my red, white, and blue. But it's just so interesting when you see storytelling from a different perspective.
And
you
well,
never know
and
what you're going to get.
Yeah, and in this particular scene, she gets the body that's supposed to be hers, but Ito's refusing to put it on her because he knows what it is. He knows that it will turn her into a weapon, and he wants to prevent that from happening. But he can't. He's going to find out later that that's a folly, but because she's going to do it anyway.
Well, and they do it differently in other iterations, but I think it's more powerful when Ito says, I didn't give you those hands for them to be stained in blood.
Yes.
I don't know. Does he
Yes,
say
I think
it
the
in this?
dialogue. No, he doesn't say that. I think the dialogue is a lot deeper in the anime for sure.
Mm-hmm. Which I think do you think that they dumbed this down a bit?
Yes. I think Cameron always dumbs things down.
Yeah, I think they missed a fantastic opportunity here. Absolutely.
And so she becomes a hunter warrior. We don't get that, and also in the anime, I like the little montage of her being a hunter warrior, but they cut that out here to make her more innocent.
Well, it's also to build up her relationship with Yugo. Oh, right. Let's kill the dog. Let's kill the dog for the money shot.
So, yes, the cute little ugly dog shows up, and Alita's drawn to the warrior hunter bar and gets into a fight.
You know what? I really enjoy this. And you know what? It's so strange when you watch a movie nowadays and it's like, oh, okay, so this is the cantina scene from Star Wars. This is not the cantina scene from Star Wars. It is so much more interactive. There is so much more confidence from our protagonist. I really like this as being an environment. I don't think that this particular sequence is derivative of anything else. I think this is something unto itself, which is shocking. Because when I see somebody walk into a bar, any fictional character in a science fiction setting walking into a bar, and I'm like, all right, do. This is so much better. It's a different, and I love seeing different.
Yeah, and it's not like the bar scene was original. It happens in every Western ever made almost. That's where a lot of Star Wars came from. But I think the entire scene here is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And especially that move right there.
Yes. You do not deserve such a weapon is one of the a pretty good line, especially since we do find out eventually it does become hers. Spoilers. And
Oh yeah, I love that. When he, oh my stars, this is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not sponsored by Robert Rodriguez's Alita Battle Angel, but if you do have an opportunity to watch the movie from beginning to end, I would be one to say, do it.
Now
I'm so entertaining.
I'm excited to go back and watch it again now, and the anime, which I've never seen.
yes, she's trying.
Oh, and
she's trying to unite everybody against a common enemy, but they all just laugh at her. And then she's like, okay, you're gonna laugh at me, then we're gonna fight, and then you're gonna help me. But her Ito breaks it up. But she still gets one last hit in.
And he's doing his best.
He is. He is. And
so good.
He stops the fight by saying that I'll stop doing free repairs if you don't stop. So
hey, Outcast Creative. Good to see you.
Outcast Creative, Lance is here. That's great news. But before
Meanwhile,
they can...
Jonathan Taylor Thomas is being so vanilla it hurts.
Before Ito and Alita can argue, Gruishka interrupts. And like he said, he kills the dog. Just to taunt her. Just to make her upset. And it does. It works. And they fight. We're fighting. And actually, really, the cute, ugly dog is the only one who comes to her aid at first.
Now, you know what? I was so happy about Jeff Fahey. And he's got all his dogs and everything. Like, so happy. Jeff Fahey is. Take your silence as a no. He's the lawnmower man.
Yeah, I like the lawnmower man. I think that movie got a raw deal.
I'm sorry. I think my internet's breaking up because you're breaking up for me a little bit. So I might be having an issue that I'm not.
No, he's breaking up for me as well.
Oh, it's my fault.
Okay.
It would seem.
Yes. Yes.
I'm fine with that.
McTeague is pretty cool, and later on, he's the only one who comes to help. Because Grishka killed the dog, he's like, he's not a dog lover, so I'm on your side. It's great.
Like, I know a lot of people on this channel are big fans of cats, and to each their own. I am much more of a dog lover, and when Alita paints the blood on her cheeks, I'm like, fuck 'em up, lady.
I don't see why it has to be a choice. I've always had both.
Enough.
I've always loved both.
Yeah, fair enough. You're right.
Same.
I'm sorry.
But when you go out of town, you don't need somebody to sit your cats. I'll give them that.
It depends on how long you're away. If I'm away for too many days, then I do have somebody come by for pets and feeding. And it doesn't take long, but the cat does need a little attention.
Yeah, but I can put a cat in a car. Or sorry, I can put a dog in a car, and the dog's gonna behave.
Fair enough.
I put a cat in a car, and the cat's gonna be all like, meow.
Yeah, they will cry the entire time. This is true.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's why they invented mini cat jails.
That's why they invented pillowcases in lakes.
No. The carriers.
Too much, too far.
That's too serial killer, buddy.
There's a reason John Wick didn't go on a revenge spree for a cat.
Yeah, they didn't kill his cat.
Yeah. I'm not angry at cats, and I shouldn't be angry at people who love cats.
Correct.
I don't think they would have been able to kick the cat. It would have gotten out of the way.
The cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. We thought he was a goner, but the cat came back. Just couldn't stay away.
The dog is killed off screen in this, right? From what I remember.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
not like the
important to
anime.
note. Yeah, important to note to the audience. So there's a little trauma, but it's
In the
minimal.
anime, the dog is sliced in 3 and just explodes like a fire hydrant.
Well, and that's why I like this edition. I don't know where it comes from or what. I think, is it on the DVD or the Blu-ray? I just like it. McTeague fixes him. Or cyborgs him.
It's so much more. Like the dog in the anime is barely a character. Like the dog shows up, starts barking, gets killed, and you don't care. But they actually, and to the credit of the filmmakers, like you understand why Alita responds the way she does. Much more than in the anime. I don't know how it goes in the manga. Manga.
Me either. Well, and she does get defeated here, but he doesn't just... I thought he was just going to grab her and run, but he leaves her there when her friends show up. It's a little strange. I don't understand that part.
Who's the hologram?
Oh, the hologram. Oh, that was her superior or something like you
Was
said.
that Dr.
or-
Zaius?
Oh, yeah, that's
right. No.
that's Nova.
So that's the Incredible Hulk.
And then
Right?
Alita uses the only... Well, I don't know.
Well, no, is that my brain is so cross-wired right now.
Oh, I'm also feeling
That's Ed Norton.
time. Yes, that's right. Ed Norton. Correct.
Right. So that's Fight Club.
Yes. And after this memory, I guess she gains another skill where she only has one arm left, yet she uses it to blind Grushka.
Oh, it's so good. Well, and this is the thing, is that like people talk about girl bosses and shit. And I'm like, oh no, everything that she overcomes is justified, and it satisfies. Like when she comes back after a horrible defeat, she overcomes some of the worst things that are possible. And she does it, and you sort of pump your fist and cheer. And it's like, she's rad. So, big ups for Alita. Anyway, Jill.
Yes.
Before I have to step away, because I do have a whole bloody affair
have a whole
to deal
day.
with.
You do, and I do understand that.
I did want to see what Old Man Bird said in his super sticker.
Oh, he has a super sticker. I didn't even notice. My goodness. There is a super sticker. Thank you so much, Old Man Bird. I was feeling the crunch of the time, and I was trying to make some leeway here. But it looks like I'm not going to make it. But that's okay. You've got a movie to go to, and anytime you want to leave, just let me know, and we'll see you out. But the super sticker is a 1999 super sticker. Thank you so much, Old Man Bird. You've already donated so much to the stream already. But thank you again for the video game controller saying woot.
Woot, woot.
It's a very good Friday.
This is why I am so good at being a bad employee. First things first, you don't pay me. And second thing,
except in toys.
Yeah, except in toys. And so, yeah, uh, I saw this movie for the first time front to back yesterday. I compared it to the anime. I have never read the manga.
Is this your
And
closing thoughts?
yeah,
Okay, just double checking.
and I think that this is worth your time. I think that this is a standalone, delightful experience. If you have not yet seen Alita Battle Angel and you're a fan of sci-fi, cyberpunk, dystopia, robots, fighting, weird cameos, Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron. Like, this is so good. I watched this on the piracy highway, and I am in the middle of purchasing it on Blu-ray because it is that good. I want it. So
I want to.
this is fantastic. I want to thank Old Man Bird for saying, hey, watch it, review it. This is amazing.
I've always wanted to. Is there anything else you want to say about the movie as a whole? You can spoil what's coming up if there's something you wanted to say later on that you won't get to say because you're leaving.
No, I don't have anything. I have no spoilers. I have nothing. Why? Are you hinting at something? I just think
No,
it's
I
great.
don't know. I just wanted to make sure if there was a
It's
scene
great.
you wanted to talk
It's a
about.
good time.
You can.
You should watch it.
It is.
You should
It's
watch
a good
it
time.
loud.
Yes. Well,
Anyway.
I like it so much I might read it. That's how good it is.
Oh, wow. Reading is, yeah. So, and then as always, as we
George
are
Lucas is here. Hello.
Hey, George. So, and as we are always want to do, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the like, subscribe, tell your mom. Subscribe to Cinema Gulp. Check out the Running Scared review that we did. And also, he's got a lot more going on over there on that Cinema Gulp channel. Check out the Phantasmagorium last night. I believe that Kat from the Phantasmagorium reviewed 11 movies in
I didn't even
the
realize she
matter
was
of an
streaming
hour.
until later. Like she did that. She was sneaky.
Yeah, but I was too drunk to show up, and I was hanging out with you. And then, Twin Flicks. You should totally check out Twin Flicks because he did an incredible in-depth interview with the Vinegar Syndrome producer of Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald. And if anyone knows me, I love Norm Macdonald. And is there anybody else I'm forgetting? Phantasmagorium, Cinema Gulp, Twin Flicks, you. And then, you know what? Just for fun, go subscribe to Stark of Iron.
Oh, yes. He's working his way to 3K. He's working on that.
That sounds like a sex thing.
Well.
Anyway, I am off to go see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Thank you for allowing me to bow.
Oh, before you go, can you give me a camera just for a second so we can see how fancy you look going to the movies? Is that allowed? You can refuse if you don't want to. Yeah, see, very nice, right? Okay. Thank you for reviewing the movie with me and have fun at the movies.
This is what you get for fucking around with a Yakuza. Go home to your mother. I'll see you kids in the future. Love you.
Love you too, Scott. See you next time. And Old Man Bird says, wow. Wow. I tried to go as quick as I can. You know how these reviews are. Our reviews are very similarly created. So I think you understand what happens with these things. More than most, really. But I think, I guess maybe, let's see, Gavin says some people still treat going to the cinema as an occasion. And yes, this is a big occasion for Scotty. And I guess the most interesting thing about seeing that the Kill Bills put together is how are they going to seam it together? How are they going to zip it up right when one movie leads into the other? I can't wait for the review of that because that's basically, I suspect that's going to be the only difference. But if there are any other differences, I'm sure I'll hear about it later.
Can you hear me, Jill?
Now I can.
Yeah, I think my StreamYard switched my mic off. I hadn't been able to talk for 5 minutes, or I didn't realize nobody was hearing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you stepped away or something, and I was just waiting for
No,
you to
no,
come back.
I was trying to say goodbye to Scotty and comment on a few things, and um, yeah, it became clear that, and then I checked my mic. I don't know, it does that sometimes, but no, I'm
Oh,
still here and I have some time. So
okay. Thank you for lending some of your time here for the movie. I don't know. I've got 25 minutes left to slides. Do I have it on? Do I have it on fast mode? Let's see. No, I don't want to make it too fast. I think it was at the right speed.
yeah, no, I was trying to explain some of the phases that the volumes go through. This is, this entire movie only covers like the first, I don't know, half of the first volume. So there's a
Oh,
lot,
really?
there's a lot
Wow. So
more.
there's a lot more content. They can make a lot more Alitas if they wanted to. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot more Dusty Nova. There's the several different like I said, this is like the first volume, and then they have the Mars Chronicles, and then and then they're going to be doing the Panzerist. So
Right. It makes sense that it would ramp up into war because that's what it seems like at the end of this movie. That she gets her objective.
yeah, I'm boomering on the second series, but it'll come to me as we start talking.
There's tons more, says Adam Gray. Wow. Well, how lucky am I? I don't know about any of it, except for what Istrophobos has been teaching me today.
Yeah. Oh, Last Order is the volume that comes after this one. Then Mars Chronicles, and now we'll be getting Panzerkunst next year.
Oh, that's the new one. Oh my goodness, that's great. Caught it in the cinema at least a couple of times. Had read the manga maybe 20 years before it came out. I wasn't going to skip that. I'm glad you saw it in the theater, and I wasn't so clever enough to realize this was something I should have seen when it was out. I was disappointed they didn't release any merchandise. It kind of crushed me. Aw. Yeah, the dolls for this would have been amazing.
Well, they have like oh, I guess that's all anime and manga merchandise, but yeah, I don't recall seeing anything from the movie. He's right.
Oh, but they do have merchandise for the anime. Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
lots. Or at least they do in Japan. I haven't seen a lot here, but I've seen some pretty impressive Alita cosplays though.
Of course, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I was just thinking of a cousin of mine who would look really good in this an Alita costume. I don't know if she'd actually do it. When she puts his face in the table. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I cut out when you guys were talking about the scene after the bar fight when she gets her ass kicked and then ultimately has to overcome that to come back. But another interesting thematic sort of item in this is that she ultimately finds out that she used to be one of the robots that's responsible for the situation that they're in that created Scrap City and everything. So,
Yeah, she finds out she's the enemy. That's right.
yep, pretty much. But by
And
that time, we're so identifying with the character that we can forgive that, and it's up to her to forgive herself.
true. And well, the movie doesn't get too much in her regret of it. It moves on pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think that's something that the manga evolves more in. Like Last Order is where she really explores to uncover her past.
Mhm. Yeah, all this says is, you're pretty badass, aren't you? Yes, I am. And the suit actually conforms to whatever her subconscious sees herself as. So she has a much older body now, more developed, and she can feel more, she says. So she's got more tactile senses and can do more things. And she feels more herself, is how she puts it a little later. And that was in a lot of the promotions. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, they really didn't market this well.
No, no, but I, I can't believe I missed it. I do remember seeing some promotions for it.
I don't think they gave their potential audience a good idea of what to expect.
No, they didn't. I was just like, oh, that's weird. She has really big eyes. Moving on.
Yeah.
And oh, right. And this character here doesn't really like her, so that's basically his character arc. He's like, oh, she's an enemy, and she says, yeah, okay, but that was a long time ago. Get over it. That's how they address it through these characters, not through Alita herself.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so Hugo and Alita go to the top of the building and touch each other and stuff. Sexy stuff. Sexy time. I don't know the mechanics of that, if that's a thing that's possible.
Well, I don't think they really got into it. This it wasn't hentai, so
Gotcha.
but I assume like Commander Data that she would be ultimately fully functioning.
Yeah, I can't say that I didn't consider whether or not that were true. Was true. This is the romance scene, and we're done. So we don't see anything because it's PG-13.
But it comes right after we see a relatively nurturing scene of her and Ito, where you begin to see her really accept or really get into that father-daughter relationship.
True.
So
yes, because he's finally accepting that she's going to be who she is, and he finally says what he should have, what he finally comes to the conclusion that it's not the body that you have, the berserker body is neither good nor bad. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, and I think ultimately most parents have to go through that period of time where they accept their children's independence, and it's not always that easy.
No, it isn't. Yeah, no. I remember when I first moved out, my mom would come over to my apartment like every week. It took a while for her to stop doing that.
Yeah, I moved halfway around the world, so it was sort of easier for me. And if I'm to be honest, they couldn't wait to get me out of the house. I was a handful.
Oh goodness.
I think boys are different.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess I'll find out because I've got one of each.
Oh yeah. Well, not really that different. I think um I think boys are more of a handful when they're young. Maybe at least that was my experience, but you know, it's always sad seeing your kids grow up in a way, but
Definitely. Well, I'd say fortunately it doesn't happen too quickly, but in the end it does happen too quickly.
Yep. I need you to destroy this, Alita. So
So yes, Nova is still
yeah, he's got the blue
coaching.
eyes.
Yeah, I hate when he does that. So he's now he's gonna make Hugo drink a bunch of alcohol and convince him to work for him more. And because he's close to Alita, so it's a good way to get to kill her because that's the objective. And Alita comes to visit him the next day to realize that he's got a hangover.
And this
And
is the oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Oh no, this is the part of the movie where the characters are all starting to come to the conclusion that regardless of what they think they do, they're all ultimately working for the bad guys. There's
Yes.
definitely a
They
big
don't really
allegory
have a
here.
choice.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
it's a dystopia. You got to work for the bad guys. It's not a oh well I'm better than the bad guys and I'm going to go do what I want. It's to survive you have to.
Yeah, there's a big allegory in there as well.
There's a there's a little of the production notes in there, a production of this show. If you just saw that my Word document, I don't know why I took a screenshot of my Word document. But anyhow, Alita offers
Thoroughness.
Alita offers her heart to him so that he could have enough money to go to the Sky City. And he's like, "Wait, no, no, put that back." Like now he's feeling super guilty because he does this for a living. He steals people's body parts for a living, and now somebody's offering it to him for free, and he realizes how wrong everything he's been doing is. So I suppose this is when he changes his mind about what he's doing. And they both want to go to the Sky Cities together. Lita asks if she has the capability of love. Mm. Oh, yeah. Apparently, yeah. No, that's when she's talking to Ito, and when Ito has accepting that she's gonna play motorball, and so he's at they're at a scrimmage, and he's made a bunch of pads and helmets for her. So and that's why she joins, is so she can earn some more money to go to. It's all about going to Salem. She adds 99 to her uniform. One of the things we didn't mention earlier was in one of her flashbacks. She was referred to as 99. And so Tanji is afraid. Hmm. Oh, oh yeah. Okay, so my notes are going a lot faster than the slides are.
Oh, okay.
There's the 99.
Yeah, 99 was her berserker designation when she was a Martian soldier.
That made me wonder, did she have a name besides 99 or was she just referred to as a number?
Um
I am not a number.
well, yeah, she has her original like the galley name, but I think probably she just had that identifier. I don't really see the necessity for giving robotic soldiers names really.
Mhm. Okay, so because of Lita's kindness, trying to give him her heart, he realizes what he's doing is wrong and tries to quit being a limb harvester, or he tries to quit.
Yeah, I don't think I'm alone in the whole cyberpunk thing about, body parts buying and selling, collecting, stealing. I've always found that a little disturbing back in the old There was an early cyberpunk novel called Dr. Adder. Very, very disturbing book.
It's even more disturbing in the anime, and I'm sure even more so in the manga, because in both of those, Hugo actually is a murderer. Here, he doesn't do the killing himself. He doesn't realize that the bad guys come along after to kill the victims.
Yeah. The only names I can see was Gally, her Japanese name. She had nicknames the Angel of Death, and when she became a tuned agent, her code name was A1, but that's in the future. So I guess 99 it is, which brings me all the way back to Get Smart. Do you remember that show?
I haven't seen Get Smart.
Oh,
Sorry.
really?
No.
Oh,
there's a lot of things I have not seen.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's considerably before your time, but I remember it being hilarious, and it's definitely worth checking out if you ever get the chance.
Definitely. So
Almost like
Hugo's framed for murder. That's all I needed to say.
I was saying, it was almost airplane style of humor, kind of and Hogan's Heroes style of humor, but with James Bond theme. It was. I remember it being absolutely hilarious.
Entropy Manor says it's worth remembering that her first actions after getting installed in that highly effective weapon of a body was as far from violent as you could get. Yes.
Good point.
She doesn't start off, she's not always violent. She can be very sweet, but then, don't make her angry.
Yeah, I really enjoy the motorball scenes, but I guess I can see if you're not interested in that sort of thing that it could get a little long. But it's still in furtherance of the plot. She has a purpose. It's not gratuitous. She is trying to accomplish something.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what the reference I was going for. Thank you, Siggy. She is not a number. She is a free woman. Disturbing, but it makes sense when parts could be removed and added, sort of like amputees can trade out parts too.
Yeah.
Oh, and Entropy Manor also wants me to watch Get Smart. So that is, I think it's on my list. I'm not sure. The practical and CGI effects look great in this movie. True story.
Yeah, better than a lot of the stuff that came after it. Like I'm watching 15-year-old movies that look 10 times better than what they do now.
Yes. Well,
So
everybody just thinks that this is just a scrimmage. Oh, we're just gonna try her out. This is a practice, but really, everybody's trying to kill her. This is the objective, the true objective of the scene. And Ito figures this out and tries to warn her, and so she knows what she's getting into. And yes, this is another action scene. Very, very fast paced. Lots of fun to watch. And Nadzi3PO says, went to emergency many times because of Get Smart and Spy versus Spy. Emerge? What does that mean? Do you know what that means? I'm not sure. I still find myself humming the Get Smart theme while I'm puttering around the house.
yeah,
You got a lot of fans here. Oh, that's you.
yeah.
Oh, good. We needed some music for this for this action scene.
And I'll point out Agent 99 was a woman, brunette, actually somewhat similar in appearance to Rosa Salazar.
Here's some of
See, I don't see
what happens.
how people find this boring. Action scenes for their own sake can be boring, but this isn't further. This is to further something. The narrative. This is has meaning, and of course, she's fighting for her life in reality. So
The only time I find action scenes boring is when I can't tell what's happening on the screen, and it's just they're moving the camera too much, and they're making things look more interesting by shaking the camera and doing bullshit. But this actually is, you can see specifically what is going on, who's getting hit and who's getting pummeled and what's going on
Yeah,
precisely.
this
And so
reads
it is interesting.
yeah, it reads very clearly. I mean, that's why I didn't like the Bourne Identity movies. You can't really see what's going on. Sometimes the shots are too tight in or the cuts are too fast. It's always important to in visual storytelling to be able to read the scene clearly.
Yes,
And
and what better way to read a scene than by having a cyborg being eaten by a grinder? That's brutal. Japan is gonna find Hugo and knock him around, so that'll be the next thing. Oh yeah, there we go. And that's when she's finished with the motor ballers, so she's gonna come help Hugo. And Hugo doesn't deny it being a murderer, even though he isn't this is the only adaptation in which he's not directly, he's only indirectly a murderer. So, but I guess he's just full of that much guilt that he can't deny it because he was doing a bad thing. And so he admits it.
yeah, even though it was a little fast, I don't really have a problem with his turnaround,
Mhm.
it wasn't like he agonized over it for half the movie. But he did have sufficient, I believe, motivation to explain his changes of heart.
I think so because like he was right earlier, she is the most human. She was willing to give up something that makes her extremely powerful just for his dream.
Yeah, and that offering up her heart scene, that was a fairly well done, powerful moment in the film
Yes, that was a
without
little
being
intense. Sorry.
yeah, without being overly melodramatic, which is, another thing I appreciate about the movie.
Right, definitely. It didn't descend into sad music and crying, so that was good.
Descending into sad music and cry sounds like my love life.
And Zapam kills Hugo, so that happens. But she oh wait, he gives him a fatal stabbing, and then she takes him into the building, and that's when Sharon comes and says, "You can save him, with your like before you get the heart again." And so there's something special about that heart that is able to keep him alive despite his fatal wounds and decapitating him. I don't know what the deal is with his spine or what's going on there, but somehow it's all
Well,
fine.
yeah, decapitating is a theme that runs through this manga. So,
Well, yes. And you already know my favorite one, which is, not canon to anything else, is it is the resurrection of the dog.
yeah.
But that's also how they save Hugo here. He gets a new body. And and Pam loses his face. The one human aspect that he still has is taken from him, which is fair.
Yep. And Ed Screen is extremely and yet sort of unlikable here, like he's supposed to be. Um, like I thought in the horrible movie series Rebel Moon, he was a bit over the top. He doesn't do that here.
Yeah, the only over the top villain was at the beginning, that one guy who Roman, or I forget his name exact. Romo.
um,
I think he was a little too heavy-handed.
yeah, you need to push it, but not too much. It can be a fine line sometimes, and I think that's where a good director really knows what the performances he's trying to get out of his actors or their actors.
Yes. So Hugo does well with his surgery, and Ito reveals that Victor was scamming people. After all, you cannot go to Salem. Getting to Salem is a lie. And he knows this because he was born there. Sharon has to admit to having mercy for Hugo. And Alita, in that moment, she's called out. And so she resigns. And we don't see. And that's when she gets turned into brain parts, but we don't see them quite yet. And Alita's making her way to the boss fight, the final boss fight for this movie.
And she has the sword.
She does, yeah, right. She earned it from Zapan and used it to slice off his face, and now it's her weapon. That's a good point. See, what is this gif? Oh yeah, there are points during the battle where it looks like Alita might lose, and that's also important to have.
Yeah, that creepy woman.
Yeah. And I like taking down these Ed 509s. Great. Oh, and this is it. And this scene coming up. Oh, and I missed it, but she finally calls Ito father in the last scene.
Yeah, that one really hit you in the feels there.
Yeah, it really works out. And she knows Vector's all a lie now. And she gets the truth. And she wants to talk to. She doesn't want to talk to him. She wants to talk to Nova. And oh, we see all the parts for Sharon. That's what's left of her. She's going to be sent. She is going to make it where she wants to go, but not in the way that she wanted.
Yeah, the little brain in a jar. It's not quite as cute as it is on Futurama.
No. Well, the brain in the jar in Futurama, they got their whole head.
Yeah, that's true. But I suspect even if they did have the whole head, it would still be creepy as hell.
Yes. That's true.
And here's upgraded Ed.
Yes. And in the middle of that fight, she has another flashback of climbing up these tubes and having to deal with the spikes that come down, which come back again later. Come back really soon. And according to the anime, they're used to keep rodents from climbing up to the Sky City Museum. And she knows her mission is to destroy Salem. From that flashback, that's another thing. I know who my enemy is, and he's watching us now, and you're just his slave. And I'm just an insignificant girl. And just like in the manga, she, not manga because I haven't read it, I mean anime, she slices him in half. So this is nice. It's a really powerful sword.
Yeah, I think it's one molecule wide at the edge. It's a very satisfying conclusion to the movie. I have to say, it is mostly self-contained, even though in this universe, there's always backups, so death can be somewhat impermanent.
Right. You think well, nobody's ever really gone. And, well, he's gone now, though. And imagine just Vector has to die while Nova is taking over his body, and he can't even have his last words or do anything that he would decide to do during death. It's all up to Nova. Nova took over his death. Well, that looks fatal. Oh well, Vector was getting annoying anyway. Glad to be rid of him.
Yeah, I'm a little torn. Like I've really gotten tired of the whole fake out death thing and resurrection and multiverse. Like, I'd like a little more sense of permanence from my stories, but in this case, it really goes with the setting, so it's hard to resent it.
Yeah, just being a cyborg is just a fact of life.
Yep.
Everybody becomes one eventually, or they die first. If they're then they're lucky. But when you're having people steal body parts, you have to dig around in the trash to find a replacement. And it's a good death scene here, great dialogue and everything. Just basically saying, Nova is watching you, his big brother. And then we have Hugo trying to make it to the city, not knowing how dangerous this is. And because she had that flashback, she knows how dangerous it is. So she tries to get him off, but of course that doesn't work out. And even though he's just come back to life, he was just killed and not exactly resurrected, but he didn't actually die, but he almost died.
Yeah, and this scene looked phenomenal on the big screen. I gotta tell you that this whole sequence here.
Yes. Yes, and he doesn't make it. It doesn't. This movie doesn't shy away from a tragedy. Most of the time, you get to save your love interest, but here he's gone. And she has to deal with that. She cuts her tear in half. Which looks cool. And she goes to play motorball, not for fun, but because she believes she can get to Salem and defeat Nova, which is her ultimate goal, which is going to happen in Alita Battle Angel 2, which will be released in 2049. Probably not. They got to
Yeah,
do it soon.
in the manga, Yugo is found by Nova and revived, so his story does continue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh, but he's found by Nova, so it's great. But then he's going to be used.
Yep. Yep.
Gotcha. Well, that's interesting. I like that. Oh, right, because in the anime, they put his remains in a little, a mini hot air balloon, and so it makes it back. It makes it up to Zaylan. That
Oh,
makes a lot of sense. What is that? Oh, I heard. I'm sorry. I heard. Do you hear something in the background? In my end.
no, I don't.
Okay, good. Glad I can hear it. But if you don't hear it, then we don't have to worry about it. So
Yeah,
that's
we
that movie.
we made
Thank you
it
so
through.
much. Yeah, thank you so much, Old Man Bird, for suggesting this. I had been wanting to see it. It was fun.
Yeah, I definitely have the urge to rewatch it, and can't wait to get to the manga. I mean, the anime now.
And it's only an hour. It's not a long watch. The making and authorized distribution of this film supported over 15,000 jobs and involved hundreds of thousands of work hours. I've never seen a end tag like that.
Oh, I see them all the time now. That's
I guess it's a new thing.
it's been around for um it's been around for a while. I would say at least 5, maybe 10 years. Um
Mm.
It's usually at the end, right before all the logos of the MPAA stuff.
Yes.
So if you're sitting through the credits, you'll see it.
Uh-oh, Adam Gray has told me to check my Discord. I don't usually check my messages during the stream because then I get distracted and I go quiet and I start reading things.
Yeah, chat will do that to me actually. Just
I don't know what I'm looking for. Actually. So I'll have to look later. Unless I can find it faster, but no, I can't. Sorry, Adam Gray, I don't know what I'm looking for. But check my Discord DMs. Okay. Old Man Bird says, "Thank you, Jill. We know making the notes and captures is work. You are a pro. Thank you. Yes, it is. It's always worth it. I'm always like, oh, what am I doing 2 o'clock in the morning making pictures? But eventually we have the live stream and I have a lot of fun and I learn stuff, especially when I have expert panelists like Istophobos and wonderful creative conversation starters like Scotty R37 with his back knowledge of Hollywood and all the actors and things. He both of you guys together made this stream amazing. Thank you guys.
well, thank you for having me. And I love the way you deal with some of the video clip restrictions by making your montages. It conveys what's going on without hopefully they don't strike you all the time.
Well, I heard this one was particularly sensitive in regards to sharing video. I would have made videos if I had time. Honestly, I would have made a few.
Well, I
But
like what you did. You conveyed the motion and action. So
thank you. I had to have some action and I didn't have time to make videos, so GIFs are my fallback.
Yep.
Worked out. And Gavin liked it too. Adam Gray. Yeah, Adam Gray wants me on the Discord. Kim, thank you for being here. And yes, whenever I get a chance. Yes, I will. I'll have my brain back in whenever the stream ends.
Have you ever heard of a drunken raccoon?
Yes, actually, that was in the news in Virginia, wasn't it? I saw that news story. That was kind of funny. Only funny because the raccoon survived. It broke into a liquor store and was drinking all the liquor and was found passed out in the bathroom. In the bathroom.
That's kind of funny, I have to say.
It was kind of funny. And they just took it to the shelter, let it sober up, and released him.
Yeah, that's not a phrase you hear very much regarding raccoons. Let them sober up, but I've seen raccoons do extraordinary things as far as like when you're out camping, what they're able to go through and manipulate to get to food.
Right, because they almost have hands. They have.
They do. And one of the rangers at a wildlife preserve swore to me that he saw one open a padlock to get to the food inside of a locker once.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow.
I saw them actually holding open the lid of a cooler that was bungee corded together while a third raccoon went in the cooler and got all the food out.
Teamwork.
Yeah,
Even.
absolutely.
No
I
way.
was baffled and they did not give a shit that I was there.
We're busy here. You're not going to bother us. We're not going to bother you. Just let
Yeah.
us do our crimes.
They're stealing all my freeze dried food, man. That is not cricket.
Gosh. Daniel's Hot Topic says, hello. I have heard of Alita Battle Angel. Well, since you're just here, you did not get the movie spoiled for you. And even if you did watch this live stream and you haven't seen the movie, you didn't see the movie today. We were reviewing it. Go watch it. It is worth it.
Yeah, and if you like Rosa Salazar, check out that show Undone. I think it's only like 8 half-hour episodes. It's really interesting.
Ravens are too smart for their own good as well. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There are lots of videos of that where my favorite is when they take a nut and they throw it in traffic so that the cars will break it for them, and then they use the stoplights to safely cross the street to pick up their nuts.
Yeah, crows too. They will remember the faces of people who've done them dirty, and they will communicate those faces to other crows.
That's yeah, that's not good for humans if you end up on the wrong side of a murder.
Yeah, well, it is a murderer of crows. I think, like, people that deal with wildlife have to wear masks for that very reason.
Mhm. Makes sense. Daniel loves raccoons. One time, a raccoon was stealing my cat's food. So my dad set a trap, and the raccoon went for the food in a cage. And the raccoon was so fat it got stuck halfway in the cage because it was eating all the cat's food. That makes sense.
Yeah, they seem all cute and chill and cuddly, but boy, when they're threatened, they can be vicious, frighteningly vicious.
Yeah, they are wild animals. I don't understand why people want to domesticate them. They cannot be.
Yeah,
They are wild.
yeah, no, no.
It would take a long time because I guess we did domesticate wolves, but it doesn't
Yeah,
happen overnight.
the other thing is their predilection for carrying rabies without being affected by it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
actually, then in that case, possums are the safer pet, even though they're not as cute.
yeah,
They'll F you up bad, son, says not Z3PO. Is a better way to put it.
yeah, it's funny. Two of the most ancient diseases that we have, we still uh, are hardly able to deal with, and that's tetanus and rabies.
Yeah, that's why if you do interact with an animal in that way, you've got to get a rabies shot right away if you get a bite.
Yep. At least they're in the shoulder now. When I was a kid, they were much more painful in the stomach. So
Thanks.
I've
Well,
been bitten by a few wild dogs when I've been traveling and had to get rabies shots. So not nearly as bad as they used to be.
well, that's good. I've never had to do that. I'm glad that you never got rabies.
Yeah, I was photographing a temple in India, in northern India, and I just got nipped at by a wild dog, and so I think it was. They have to be those vaccines still need refrigeration though.
Mm.
So I got 3 shots in the arm, but it wasn't like when I was a little kid. That's when the shots were in the stomach and they were very painful.
Wow, I wonder why they had to go through the stomach. I guess for absorption.
Yeah, yeah, I probably should look into that. And I just recently had to get a tetanus shot again. So
Oh no. Well, yeah, that those are easier to get in trouble with because you poke
yeah,
yourself in a rusty nail, something you touch something you shouldn't.
yep.
I
Well,
want
I'm
to.
glad I had time to finish the movie actually.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I can let you go now, and I can close out the show on my own if you'd like.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, chat. Thank you, Jill. Man, I always have so much fun when talking with you. It was really, really enjoyable. And thank you.
Oh, for me too. For me too. And I do want you to tell us what you're doing around on the
Um,
internet and what anything you want to share.
well, in about an hour, we're going to be on earworms, and we're going to be talking about the Genesis album, "Selling England by the Pound," which is a nice old classic for progressive rock fans. And then I will be in the audience of B-sides, making fun of old public domain movies.
Oh my goodness, you've got quite the busy Friday.
Yeah,
Lots of fun going on with this Phobos if you want to follow him around.
yeah, that's Adam's channel, and we're actually going to be making fun of the panel as well. That's making fun of the old movies. We have a good old time there on Friday nights over at B-sides. So I think it's called B-roll stage. I can't put a link in your chat. So
You put it in the private chat for me if you can,
okay, I
and
will
I'll
hunt that
bring it
down.
in.
You can start to close out if you like.
Yes, please do. So everybody can find you because you're a lot of fun.
Well,
50% mortality rate from tetanus. Holy crap! I didn't realize it was that bad. I got a shot a long time ago.
Yeah, it's higher than that if you wait too long before you get inoculated.
Holy moly!
And it's nasty.
Later, kids.
Rabies is worse.
Yeah, that's why your shots are important. Don't neglect them. And Daniel is not happy about Netflix buying Warner Brothers. Daniel, if you're very interested into that topic, at the very beginning of this live stream, before we even talk about the movie, we went into that kind of deep, and you might enjoy that conversation. B-roll stage on all platforms. I thought I had your link, Adam Gray, but I don't know what happened to it on my side, or I would have put it up already. So
okay, and the Wayfarer project link is in the private chat. I'll grab Adam's if you want.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so and this is the Wayfarer link for tonight. And show tonight. I'll put that. Yes, I do want Adam's too.
Adam, do you want me to put up the Rumble link or the YouTube link?
Not not Z3PO says thanks, Jill, Ista, Scott's, and cheers to Old Man Bird. Yes, producer of this live stream. Thank you, Old Man Bird. Daniel has also never gotten a rabies shot ever in my entire 38 and a half years. Yeah, well, I'm a couple years older than you, and I still haven't either. But I try to be careful with saying things like that because next week I have to tell everybody I got a rabies shot for the first time.
I put up the Rumble link because B-sides YouTube still won't monetize them, so they simulcast on Rumble as well. So
Oh, he says YouTube on YouTube, please and thank you.
Oh, okay.
But here's Rumble anyway.
All right, let me go grab that.
Right. And you can also see Istophobos on the Mr. Brown channel sometimes. Maybe this Sunday. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Going. I like you on that too. I don't think YouTube is going anywhere. Well, no, me neither. Not right now, but it's good to have other options because YouTube is not always very friendly, as Istophobos was just saying. Adam Gray got demonetized. That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And
Yeah.
I hear a lot of the creators I follow are really taking hard hits with the algorithm lately.
Yeah, me too. My subscribers are dead in the water since halfway into October.
It seems like every couple years YouTube tries to become TikTok again for a short time and then they go back to what they're good at.
Oh, goodness. I do not like TikTok.
All right. Hey, chat. It's been fun. Thank you. Bye, Adam. Bye, Nazi. And Jill, you have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, Istophobos. Thanks for sharing the treasure of your brilliance here. And I'll see you around.
I'm just old. I've seen a lot. All right. I'll catch up with you online somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, see you around. It was good. Bye-bye. Says Adam Gray, and now here I am. Here we are here. You are, we're all here. I hope you enjoyed Alita Battle Angel. I know I did. That was such a fun time. And with such great panelists, there was no way I could go wrong. I wouldn't have been as fun without them. This would have been maybe a 40-minute live stream without them, and it was a 3-hour one with them, which is way cooler, way more fun. And I learned some stuff. And if I only want to spend $87, I can read and learn even more about this universe that I didn't know I needed in my life. It is quite entertaining. And I want to thank everybody who was here. And to do that, we've got a list of everybody who was here. The Eclectic Goat, thank you for dropping by. Also, wonderful channel. Check it out. She does tabletop games and she also does some review shows too. She likes to go for some review shows of shows that people don't necessarily notice that go under the radar. So that's pretty neat. Nim was here too. Wonderful, wonderful person. Very funny. Can't wait for Jill to do Christmas. Oh yeah, I should be doing some Christmas stuff soon, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. I knew I wanted to start December off with Alita, but as soon as I know what I'm doing next, I'll let you know, and we'll take it day by day, week by week. One thing that is clear is every Tuesday is the Twilight Zone, and I'll let you know what's going on after we figure out what we do on Saturday. Maybe something Christmassy Saturday. I don't know yet. But thanks for the recommendation. Thank you to Lance from the Outcast Creative, doing even more and more incredible interviews all the time, and also very entertaining, fun topics. And he likes to have good live streams with great friends, and he's very generous with his time as a good friend. Yes. Miss Martin Muses. Oh, yeah, Miss Martin Muses. I forgot to mention earlier. I was so deep into the review that I forgot to mention that Miss Martin Muses is doing review series of all the Harry Potter chapters. So she's reading Harry Potter. I don't know how, is she going through all the books or just doing Philosopher's Stone? I forgot to ask. Or I forget how far she's getting into it. She's probably going to read it all. I would read it all if I were doing a review series. So she might. It's a lot of fun to listen to her. She's done 2 chapters so far, so if you want to read along with her, she hasn't gotten too far yet. Of course, thanks again to Scotty R37. He is right now getting settled in to watch a great Tarantino movie. Well, I think all Tarantino movies are great. The only one I haven't seen yet is there's only one of them that I haven't seen. I love them all to varying degrees. And the one that I haven't seen is goodness. What was it? Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown is the only Tarantino movie I haven't seen yet. But he's watching Kill Bill 1 and 2 squashed together. Thank you to George Lucas for Star Wars and for being in the chat. I think it's always so funny to see him in the chat. You never know when he's going to pop up. College Slammer. Thank you for hanging out. So good to see you when you make the time to be here, and I appreciate everybody spending some of your Friday with me. I know Fridays get busy, and there's lots of fun to be had around the internet and around the real world in 3 dimensions. So that you spend any time at all here is wonderful, and I appreciate it. Gavin Blackburn tells me Jackie Brown is great. It's free on YouTube in the UK. Well, and I got the DVD from Scotty. He sent me that for Christmas one year. So, and I still haven't watched it. He's like, "Oh, you haven't, that's your only Tarantino that you haven't seen. Here you go." And I still haven't watched it. Thank you to Orphan Zane. Max Redstone was here too. Hey, Max. And Greek Letters Larson was interesting. Always interesting chats from him. Big Daddy MRI was listening to us while he was doing his hobby. Hobby probably having something to do with electronics. And also thank you to Larry, Herc 130, Sinister, Jacob Ironside, Shifty Gizm. Now I don't know. I always thought it was Shifty Chisholm. So now I'm going to have to ask him if we're pronouncing this correctly. Cinema Gulp. Incredible. I'm so glad you showed up. I thought you liked this movie. So I'm glad you did show up in the chat for it. And Daniel's Hot Topics, I hope you can rewind the show and go listen to us talk about the Warner Brothers acquisition and the drama associated with it. I think it is actually a rather good conversation of that current event. I'm very lucky to have had that conversation here. And Lemon Pie was here. Of course, Lemon Pie. It is early in the day, so I just had an assortment of coffee this morning. He's always interested in what I'm drinking. Thank you, Lemon. John the Beagle Dad also has a channel. It was posted whenever he showed up first in the live stream chat. And he's got lots of cute puppies on there, but also he's going to do some NASA stuff. So if you enjoy space exploration, he's going to have some of that content there. So I'm definitely following what he is doing. And of course, Istophobos in the chat and on the panel. Absolutely phenomenal. So glad that he's made the time for us today. And Adam Gray, go check him out later with the links in the chat and all the fun that they're going to have both here and on B-roll and on the Wayfarer project. Yay. And Brogu, thank you, Brogu, for spending some time with us. He loves this movie. I do too now. And I only want to know more. The only bad thing I could say about this movie is it's kind of a tease because I want more and it doesn't give enough. And that's good. It's always a good thing when that's my response. That means they did a good job to get me so intrigued into the universe that more education is required. Matt G was here too, as Crouching Taylor Hidden Swift. Not Z3PO, thank you for being here too. Gavin Blackburn, Entropy Manor, Sig Valdison wants you to know. Oh, we're at the top 3 now. Yeah, the top 5, top 3. Sig Valdison at number 3. He wants you to join us tonight at Overlord DVD's channel, where we're having a Friday Night Frolics event. But Sig Valdison says that the show really belongs to Harvey Cthulhu. And number 2, okay, so these are 2 people who are at the top. And I want to thank you guys. Zell, he's probably talking about the Orville right now with UK Danger Man. I normally have the stream earlier, so it usually flows in pretty well for people to go from here to there. And then there's Old Man Bird. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and recommending such great stuff. And I also want to specifically thank those who gave the channel gifts today. Thank you to Old Man Bird for the super sticker and the $120 donation. And Zell, yes, thank you also for that super chat. And thank you to Sig Valdison as well. That was agreed that things could be better. Max Redstone has been a member for 23 months. He wants you to know it. Thank you for speaking of memberships, I did update the membership credits. So if you have just become a new member, you will finally see your name on there, and I will be playing that shortly. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Orphan Zane says, good night, everyone. The Harvey Cthulhu Variety Show, says Sigil Alderson, starring Harvey Cthulhu, the comedic genius, and his incompetent sidekick, Doomcock. Well, it's lucky that Doomcock has such a lovely voice that he makes up for his incompetence. A Harvey Cthulhu production. Yes. TM. You're so funny, Siggy. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday with wherever you decide to go. Oh, goodness. And FKHC 2005 just got home. Can you start over? Okay, so we're going to start over the live stream just for FKHC 2005. I hope you're all interested in talking about Alita Battle Angel. Again, straight from the beginning. Look at that beautiful scenery. It is 2563. That like button isn't going to hit itself, people. Oh, that's true. That's true. I do need help with that. Yeah, we got to tell the algorithm that people like it, or they don't like it. You could hit the don't like button too. It's all engagement, right? Leave a comment if you have a question or you want to say something to me. I will always respond to every comment. We'll have some more fun tomorrow night, but I just don't know what that fun is yet. I need to talk to we need to have some staff meetings and we'll figure out what tomorrow is. You too, Jill. Be safe and have a nice weekend with your family. Yes, everyone have a nice weekend, and I'll see you all the next time I see you tomorrow. See you around the internet on some of these other wonderful streams. We mentioned streams or channels we mentioned here today, and even those I didn't mention here today. So I hope you guys have fun. And I want to play one more. I played it 2 times. Wait a minute, maybe I played it 3. It doesn't matter. I'm going to play it again.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
As Bertrand Russell once said, the only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation.
Fine, I'll kill you later.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to one of your original questions. What was so good about what did Star Trek do right? And Andrea Kindred was, I think, the executive assistant to Gene Kuhn on the original show. And I recently got to interview her, and she said something that I think was so important. Someone asked her, what was the best thing about Star Trek? And she said, it was entertaining. So it allowed a huge number of people in to listen to new ideas and concepts. I wish some shows remembered the entertaining part.
Yeah.
You do need to welcome people in.
Yeah, for sure.
See you later, alligator.